All right, aloha and welcome, shifters, light guardians, dreamers within the dream. Welcome to another one of our inspirational team tarot readings. This is like a special afternoon edition. Don't do this all the time. So thank you again so much, everyone, for joining in. Even for those of you who may be tuned in the future, we're going to get right into our first reading momentarily once we have at least 10 people tuned in on YouTube. So for those of you who want to be involved, there's like a mini game that we do to help facilitate the first reading, and I'll give you guys some instructions on that. And once we have 10 people tuned in on YouTube, we'll get right into our first reading. And again, the way how we do this, these readings, these aren't just like psychic readings or fortune tellings. These are a way for us to be able to work with the cards, for us to be able to see more of ourselves. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. I made it super easy for you guys. All you have to do is click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. You click that, it will say live now, and you'll jump over to YouTube. You can do it. I believe in you. So again, the way how we do these readings, and once we have 10 people tuned in on YouTube, and I'll let you guys know once we do, we'll get right into the first reading. So again, these aren't necessarily fortune telling. They're not like psychic readings. They're a way to be able to work with the energies of the universe for us to be able to receive additional insight, inspiration, clarity. And the way how we do this is within the context of us building a global team of shifters, a global team of light guardians, people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So we've been doing these tarot readings for quite a while. And again, every time that we do it, we're always going to be like bringing back some themes, bringing back some intentions relative to building this team of conscious creators and leaders. So go ahead, team. Once you have jumped over to YouTube, leave some comments. If you guys are tuned in on YouTube right now, do me a favor, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know that you are there. Once we have 10 people tuned in on YouTube, we will get right into our first reading. And the way how we do it is we do it as a collective reading. So we do this in a way where anybody who is tuned in right now, these readings are for you. If you are here, if the universe has synchronistically brought you to this moment, these readings are for you. And so what we're going to do a little bit of a mini game for those of you in the YouTube chat. And the winner of the mini game is going to help facilitate the first reading. And I'll give some more instructions on that. So if you guys want to be involved in the mini game to help facilitate the first reading, click the link in my bio, in my profile, to tune in on YouTube, because the minigame is only for people on YouTube. So if you want to jump in and join on YouTube, now is a great time to do it. And again, we're just standing by. Once we have 10 people on YouTube, we'll get right into that first reading. And the way how the minigame works, what we do is I pick a bracket, like a number bracket between whatever and whatever, and I'll tell you what it is. I'm not telling you it yet. And then you guys have to guess what that number is. You get 3 guesses. You type them into the chat only on YouTube. So it only counts if you're on YouTube. And the reason for that is because like the synchronization is different on YouTube than it is on TikTok. So in order to be fair, we keep it centralized. So I'll tell you guys what the bracket is, and then you guys are going to use your psychic abilities. You guys are going to use your telepathic abilities to be able to determine what the number is, and you'll get 3 guesses. Only enter in 1 guess at a time. And then from there, the first person to get that number will be the first person to help facilitate the reading. But everybody helps facilitate the reading. I'll guide you through it, especially for those of you who are new. If it is your first time tuned in, drop a 333 in the profile. Sorry, drop a 333 in the chat. Let me know. And if there's any regulars here, go ahead and give a nice warm welcome for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time. And so we're going to get right into our first reading momentarily. Again, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube, because if you want to be able to help like take part in the first reading and like be a part of the mini game, it only counts if you're on YouTube, because we have to keep it fair for the chat. Okay. So again, team, we got 11 people tuned in on YouTube. We got 13 people tuned in on TikTok. We probably got some people tuned in on Facebook. If you guys want to jump over to YouTube, go ahead and do that. So the way how we do this, team, what we're going to do, we're going to get right into this first reading, and then we're going to do a series of readings over the next couple of hours, however long I'm here for. And also what we're doing, and I know we got a lot of new people here, so thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Also what we are doing the inspirational team readings, but we're also working towards reaching our goals by inviting people onto the Patreon. So for those of you on YouTube, you can see down below the information for the Patreon. And Patreon is a platform where you can support artists with monthly micro contributions. So I have my own Patreon, and Patreon is an awesome way to not only help support the work that I do for the community to help shift consciousness, but it's also a really, really cool way for you guys to be able to get involved further with the community and for you guys to be able to receive exclusive content and exclusive support. So I'll explain it real quick and then we'll get right into the first reading. The Patreon is a monthly micro contribution. When you sign up at the $11 a month or higher, you get access to our private community space as a leading member, and that gives you access to our team of conscious creators. You get to join on air for our weekly team podcast. Tonight we got one for our open mic jam, and you also get access to me as a conscious media creation coach, and you get just to be around like the support of an amazing team of conscious creators and leaders. So we're gonna set the goal on getting that first Patreon sign up by 2:30, and then the people who sign up on Patreon will help facilitate the readings after this one. So go ahead and check out the Patreon. It only takes about 5 minutes to sign up, and contributions process on the first of each month. So if you sign up today, nothing processes until September 1st. So again, if you guys are fans of my work and you just want to be able to help support it, but also support yourself and receive exclusive access and support from me in return, go ahead and check out the Patreon and drop a 555 in the chat if you're thinking of signing up to the Patreon. Perfect. All right. Okay. There. I gave you the explanation for Patreon. Let's focus in on this reading. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys the instructions again for the mini game. And thanks again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you on TikTok, the YouTube link is in my profile. So just click my profile link and that will take you over to YouTube. Super, super easy. And you guys got like 1 minute to be able to join in. And thank you again. I know we got so many new people. So thank you to Raja. Thank you to Olson. Welcome back. Thank you to Brian. Sorry, thank you to Neo. Thank you to Melissa. Thank you to Divine. Thank you to Show. Thank you to Mars. Thank you to Jordan. And thank you to everybody else who's tuned in on all the other platforms. Okay, here's the instructions. And again, we've been doing these tarot readings for a while and like they're super hype. They're super hype. Does a Patreon take Apple Pay? I don't think so. Double check though. Like you can do this as we're doing the reading, you can multitask while doing this. But as far as I know, it's credit cards and PayPal. And thank you again for asking. Okay, team. I'm going to give you a number bracket. I'm not going to tell you it yet. For people in the YouTube chat, you guys are going to guess this number. The first person to guess it will be the first person to help facilitate the next reading, but everybody helps facilitate the reading collectively. You'll understand as we walk through it. We do like a little meditation together. It's really, really cool. Yo, what's up, Joel? Joel's one of our regulars. He'll tell you all about it. Joel's one of our Patreon supporters too. So you get 3 guesses. Only type 1 guess into the chat at a time. After you've used your 3 guesses, if no one's got it, I'll tell you guys to make another guess. You guys got this? Drop an 1111 in the chat if you guys are ready for this. And let's do this. Okay, I'm going to pick that number bracket. Here we go. Okay. Okay, all right, I got it. I got the number. Okay, I'm going to tell you the number bracket. Once I've told you this, you can start leaving your guesses in the chat. 1 comment at a time, 1 guess at a time. Okay? Cool. All right. Okay, let's do this. So this is only for people on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Here we go. And same with so Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Join in on YouTube if you want to take part in the minigame. Here we go. Okay. The number is between 70 and 100. The number is between 70 and 100. Use your psychic abilities. I'm telling you what the number is with my mind. Go ahead and make your guesses in the YouTube chat. It only counts if you're in the YouTube chat. So if you're not in the YouTube chat, click the link in my profile to join in right now. And as those numbers start coming in on YouTube, I'll do some like a little bit of the commentary as I start coming in. So between 70 and 100, and I've already picked the number, and once someone gets it, I'll tell you guys. And again, this is like a pretty cool way to do it. All right, and here come the numbers. We've got Olsen with an 86. We've got Raja coming in with a 76. Divine dropping in an 82. Neo brings in with an 83. We've got 84 from Powell. Jordan dropping in another 76. This is like another thing. I just do this. Williamson dropping in a 99. We've got 87, 78, 84, 92, 96, 90, 67. These numbers are coming in hot. Again, the bracket is between 70 and 100. Jade drops in an 88. Starlight dropping in a 99. They're getting close. The numbers are dwindling down. There's so many left to choose from, but nobody has got it yet. We've got Mars dropping in a 78. We've got Brian dropping in a 73. We've got Shantaria dropping in a 65. We've got Anderson, Chanteria again dropping in at 96. No one's got it yet. The numbers are getting close. Someone's going to get it any second now. This is where the strategy comes in. Pay attention to what numbers haven't been used yet and use your skills. We've got Melissa dropping in a 72. And if you've already used up your 3 guesses, you can add in another guess. Go ahead, take another guess if you already used up your 3 guesses. No one's got it yet. We've got Divine dropping in a 76. We've got Chanteria dropping in a 75. Jordan dropping in a 93. Oh, they're getting close. Divine dropping in an 80. Starlight dropping in 85. Yo, what's up, Starlight? We've got Olsen dropping in a high-ranking 100. We've got 92, 98, 98. No one's got it yet. This number is hidden. They have not found it. It is right underneath their nose, but no one's got it yet. Joel dropping in an 81. We've got another 96. They're getting into duplicates now. We've got Olsen dropping in another 70, another 71. Oh, and we've got La Pira Show, who gets it with a 91. Wah, wah. Congratulations. All right, so La Pira Show got it with 91, so you guys can stop leaving your guesses now. So let's hear a nice little congratulations to La Pira Show in the YouTube chat for getting it with 91. And La Pira, let us know that you are ready, and we will get right into our first reading. And thank you everyone again for taking part in our mini game as we do this. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, join in on YouTube. And yeah, that's like the main place where the team chat is. Yo, Natasha, what's up? All right, doing our afternoon Team Tarot reading. All right, so La Pera Show, let us know that you are ready, and we will get right into this first reading. And again, for everybody here, what we do like a little meditation, so you guys still get to like take part in the facilitation of this, but I'll explain to you exactly how we do it. It's really cool. Like, we've done it before. And again, the way how these readings work, like if you are here, like this reading is for you. Like, it's not just like an individual reading, it's literally like collective reading. Okay. All right, good job everyone. You guys are doing awesome. So again, if you guys are here for the first time, what we're going to do, we're going to get right into our first reading. As we're doing this, we're inviting people to join on Patreon. And again, we're working on getting our first Patreon sign up today by 2:30. So that's in about 25 minutes. And the next person who signs up onto the Patreon will facilitate the next reading. And then we continue to go. And as long as we have Patreon signups, we'll keep going. I'll be good to do this for at least a few hours. I'm scheduled until 4, but if we want to keep going longer, we'll play it by ear. But eventually I have to go play some basketball and get some exercise. All right, La Pera Show is ready. So, all right, okay, here we go, everyone. Let's get ready to do this. So again, I'm going to lead you through a little bit of a meditation. And the way how this is going to work, La Pera, and for everybody else, we're going to drop into a meditative state. What we're going to do, we're going to focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. Us being the collective, us being individuals, us being the team. Again, this team of shifters. If you're tuned in, this isn't just tarot. This is us building a community. This is building a team of shifters, people who are helping assist with the shift in consciousness. Focusing on the intention of show us what we need to see. And then I'm going to guide you guys through this meditation. And then La Pera, once I instruct you to, I'm going to tell you to take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and type now in the chat. And then once you type now, then we split the deck, and then we pull the card. So don't type now yet. Let's drop into that meditative space. So if you guys are ready for this, go ahead, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know. And again, if you're here for the first time, like, these are really fun. Like, it's really, really cool. So, all right, team. Let's get ready to get into this. Go ahead and get ready for that meditation. If you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, drop a 555 in the chat just to be able to give us a heads up. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you get access to our private community space as a leading member, access to me as a conscious media creation coach, discounts for the item shop, access to private videos, exclusive content, including my 5-gram mushroom video. And you get to be able to join on air for our team podcast. And tonight's a conscious open mic. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube and tune in later tonight. All right, let's do this. Okay. We're going to use the Ananda Tarot deck, and once people sign up to the Patreon, you guys can choose to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. So that's like the additional option. So let's get that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can, and then we'll keep getting them. And our goal, I want to set the goal to, if we can reach 182 on Patreon during this broadcast, like, yo, that's huge. My goal is to reach 200 by the end of the month. And again, the support on Patreon helps me in doing the ongoing work that I do for the community, where we just provide a bunch of like awesome inspirational value for the community. Okay, team, let's get into meditation. For everybody here, just leave the chat just for 2 seconds. I want you to be able to experience this. Yo, Morphic, thanks for joining in. Nothing like some inspirational afternoon Team Tarot. Okay, team. It's good to see we got. Yo, Julia, thanks for joining in too. We got several of our Patreon supporters already tuned in. You guys are awesome. All right, team. Okay, watch this. We're gonna shift it. Okay. So for everybody here, just go ahead, close your eyes. Join us in this collective meditation where we're collectively going to focus our intention as we get ready to pull this first card for the team. Straighten up your posture, open up your chest, relax your face, and as you listen to my voice, gently connect with your breath. La Pera, and for everybody else, following my instructions, gently bringing yourself into this place of gratitude. You can put your hand on your chest if you want, continuing to breathe here, and just focusing on the sensation of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for this space, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for yourself for showing up. As you hold this gratitude within your heart, for everybody here meditating together, collectively focus your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. So focusing your intention on that, show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individuals, we being the team. This team of shifters, people helping assist with the shift in consciousness. Continuing to focus on that intention for everybody here, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your words, speak it with your mind, speak it with your soul. La Pera, what you're going to do now, you're going to keep focusing on that intention, take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now into the chat. Only for La Pera, that's the user in the chat. For everybody else, gently open your eyes, holding this intention. What I want you to do, I want you to type your wizard noise sound effects into the chat. And for those of you who are new for the first time, you'll see what I mean. And we're going to charge up the deck. And once La Pera drops that now in the chat, we'll synchronistically pull the first card. So here we go. Those are wizard noises. Type wizard noises. Believe me. Regulars, show them how it's done. And so, my friends, as we continue to unfold through this journey in which we realize that this knowledge that is within inside of us is nothing new, it is nothing old, it is infinitely timeless, it is infinitely gold. And so as we continue to arrive within this space, may we allow ourselves to take place, find that place within our heart, because that is where the magic starts. And so as we arrive within this moment, this is where we shall truly own it. Zoo, 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 rim, 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 ribbit, ribbit. And continuing to breathe with the love within our heart, we shall split the deck and we shall reveal this card. Great sound effects, you guys. And as La Pera, as they drop now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. Vroom, 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 vroom. Here it comes any second now. So go ahead, La Pera, if you haven't yet. Type now into the chat. And everybody else, keep focusing on that intention. Show us what we need to see. Should be coming in any second, assuming they're still in the chat. If not, I'll step in. We'll just kind of do it together. There it is. Now. All right, okay. Ooh, oh. That's the noise I make when it's a card that I get excited about. Okay, for everybody here, the first card that we have pulled on behalf of La Pera, but for the entire team, for anybody listening to this message is for you. This card is for you. The card that we have chosen is card number 14, Balance. Show it to those of you on TikTok and Instagram. Card number 14, Balance. So what we're going to do, I'm going to open up the book. Good job on the sound effects team. We're going to read from the book, and then what I do is I channel additional information, additional kind of inspiration, and then we just kind of riff on it for a little bit, and then we'll get right into our next reading. So again, team, as we're doing this, let's get that first Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading, and then we'll go right into the next reading. And again, when you guys sign up on the Patreon, you also get to facilitate the next reading. So for anybody... Did I just choke on my own hair? What was that? For anybody who's ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat and we'll focus in on this reading. For those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, join the primary chat on YouTube by clicking the link in my profile. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And then that way you can see the camera, because it's hard for me to show the card to both cameras. So if you want to see the card, show it here. Okay, so this is, yeah, absolutely, this is a divinely timed card. Oh, other thing, when you join on Patreon, you can also get a discount for our item shop, including the Light Guardian crystals. So, okay, team, let's get ready to dive into this reading again. If you're here, this message is for you. So thank you, everyone, for holding space. Seriously, every time we do this, like, dude, the synchronicities are off the chart when we do these readings. So, good job, everybody. Good job, everybody, facilitating. All right, so visually explaining the card. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, tune in on YouTube, click the link in my profile because it's hard for me to show both cameras. Here we go. Okay, balance. So visually explaining the card here. What do we got? We've got this beautiful image of this dove with its wings expanded, hovering in mid-air, mid-flight. And you can see below it, there's a lot of symbolism here. There's like a book with a staircase kind of like going down into the depths. Just kind of like this very beautiful landscape, some just kind of like general stairs kind of walking around. Again, I'm just literally explaining, this is just me explaining the card literally. And you can also see there's kind of like an infrastructure of almost like the inside of a building, almost like a temple. It's kind of semi-transparent in the background. And you can see some of the stars up above, and it's almost kind of at dusk or dawn. And it looks like there's almost snow on the ground. And there's a little sphere on the steps. Again, just subtle details. Okay, so all right, so this is our first card for today. I'm going to read from the book. We're going to go into further inspiration. I'll channel some more information. And again, as we're doing this, inviting people to be able to join on Patreon. So again, let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up by 2:30, and then we'll get right into the next reading. You can see down below, for those of you on YouTube, the link's also in a button up in the top corner and in the info. Again, signing up on Patreon is a great way to support the work that I do. Monthly micro contribution. If you join at $11, you can join as a leading member, which is our private community team of conscious creators and leaders. So if you're looking for like a dope community to connect with, like, you guys are already part of the community, but if you want to join as a leading member, be sure to check out the Patreon. It only takes 5 minutes to sign up. Contributions only processed on the 1st of each month. All right, team, drop a 555 if you're thinking of signing up for the Patreon today. And let's focus in on this reading. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining in. Make sure you're subscribed and joining for our team podcast tonight. Okay, here we go. Balance. Remember, if you are here, this message is for you. This is for anybody tuned in. Fellow shifters, people helping assist with the shift in consciousness, this is here to pump you up. Here we go. As you listen to this, you can even close your eyes, kind of meditate. Be here now. Card number 14, balance. And I'm going to use like my magic voice as we do this. That's like part of the effect. Here we go. The image. The form of a white dove as a symbol for higher consciousness balances in mid-air above a fertile landscape whose existence is based upon deep knowledge. Meaning, at the end of the second sequence of 7, the theme of as within, so without finds its end. After the previous scene symbolism of the individual soul's path, which became more manifest in the depths of material existence, balance represents the immaterial, bodiless existence of the soul. As I'm reading this, for those of you who are new, drop an 1111 in the chat if anything I say resonates with you. And also what we're going to do is you're going to write out affirmations based on the message that it comes through. So you can wait to write an affirmation, but for those of you who are regulars, just help lead them in the chat. You guys know what to do. Okay. The meaning of the current image is better understood when we look at it together with the image of the devil. As the devil represents the state of imbalance, which comes from immoderation, the image of balance is seen as its polar opposite of moderation or temperance. Everything that we see in the outer world has its origins in the inner world. The world of spirit is the starting point for all appearances in the material world. The contact with one's higher self sets the conditions for a harmonious balance between inner and outer world. The balanced emotional life that results takes care of a harmonious relationship between body, soul, and spirit. I'm going to reread that part again. Listen closely. The contact with one's higher self sets the conditions for a harmonious balance between inner and outer world. The balanced emotional life that results takes care of a harmonious relationship between body, soul, and spirit. At peace with himself and the world, man is open for higher inspiration. Such an inspired spirit is capable of stretching out across the limits of superficial reality and expanding its field of influence. Considerate contact with and loving care of one's fellow man characterizes a pure soul. Besides cultivating present gifts and talents, the refinement and expression of one's being involves internalizing timeless teachings of wisdom. The inner being is mirrored in the grace and charm of the outer appearance. Modesty as an outer sign for inner richness is a cornerstone for a healthy balance between giving and receiving. In a balanced relationship between understanding and feeling, the soul is capable of bringing about an air of tranquil zest for life. I'm going to reread that part. In a balanced relationship between understanding and feeling, the soul is capable of bringing about an air of tranquil zest for life. By being responsible for tranquility within ourselves, we are also responsible for peace in the world. Reread that last part. By being responsible for tranquility within ourselves, we are also responsible for peace in the world. Astrological significance: Mercury, Venus, midheaven, Libra. Key words: peace, connection with higher self, soul tranquility, balance, vision, natural gifts, inspiration, clear channel for spiritual messages, inspiration, objective, observation, ability for differentiation, cultivation, meditative observation, connection between feeling and understanding, artistic expression. Traditional meaning: deep wisdom, harmony and balance, moderation, essence of being, composure, innocence, balance, centeredness, clear thinking, charm, inner peace, contact with angels and nature spirits, mental strength, and purity. Okay, wow, this is a good card. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just like channel additional information. That's reading from the book. And again, we're just going to kind of like dive into this. I'm going to pour just forth this inspiration for you guys. As I'm saying this, drop those 1111s in the chat and write out some affirmations based on the teachings. And again, let's keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. It's almost 2:30. Whoever signs up for the Patreon, you guys will get to help facilitate the next reading. And again, we'll play it. We'll just kind of keep going with it. And once you sign up for the Patreon, again, we'll see it and we'll let you know. We'll give you some shout outs into the chat. Okay, here we go. So balance. This is a super important card to be able to receive. And I'm sure for a lot of us, this is something that we're feeling is a powerful reminder in this moment. When we do these readings, again, this isn't a psychic reading, this isn't a fortune telling, this is a mirror for us to be able to receive a message and for us to be able to see things, to think of things, to be able to be reminded of things. One of the powerful messages behind this card, I think, is the cornerstone of the spiritual path. And that is basically an understanding that in changing ourselves, we change the world. If we look at the external world around us and we're just like, oh my God, you know, things are crazy, things are very chaotic, things seem as if they are out of balance. And it looks like that, absolutely. From a limited perspective, it looks like that. But sometimes the fact of being out of balance is actually the stepping stone towards learning how to be in balance. It's a process of being able to be consciously aware of where you're at while moving towards higher states of moderation. But the overall message here is reminding us that as we create balance within ourselves, we create balance in the world around us. And so one of the most important things that you can do that I'll remind you guys about this every single day. Your job, like your literal job right now within the collective shift in consciousness, is to take care of yourself. And in doing so, everything else will kind of unfold beyond that. Everything else will continue to ripple out as a result of that. And so what does it mean to take care of yourself? I think with this, you know, especially for those of you who may be new to spirituality, you might kind of be like moving towards things and be like, okay, I'm watching videos and people are telling me I need to open up my third eye, and I need to lucid dream, and I need to astral project, and I need to learn how to do manifestation and things like that. Those are part of the path. But within this, all of those things, all of those other things that you may be striving for, they're secondary to the basics. And the basics are going to be, again, you know, just like your physical well-being, your relationship with yourself. And I remind people all the time, for those of you who are regular, you know, like these are the things I remind you guys, like pay attention to your diet, your exercise, pay attention to getting good water, sunlight, sleep, and meaningful social interactions. Those 6 things. If you can focus on those 6 things, those 6 things will cultivate balance. And when you cultivate that balance, it will allow you to be able to like continue to show up for the other parts of the spiritual path with more attentiveness, with more tranquility, with more presence, and with more ability to be able to receive, incorporate, embody, and thus ripple out even further, you know? So don't just think that the spiritual path is just trying to like consume and bring in all of these crazy spiritual ideas. There's a thing that can happen when it comes to spirituality, and it's basically referred to as spiritual materialism, spiritual, and sometimes even like spiritual bypassing. The ego will do this, where in the same way, you know, like with any other thing, you would like see, you know, and you're not, and you may not even be doing this consciously. You know, if you were growing up and you like, oh, you see some of your friends wearing some like cool new shoes and you want those shoes, or you see your friends playing Pokemon and you want the Pokemon and stuff like that. Pokemon, geez, I'm dating myself here. And again, you know, you kind of just like see things that get your attention. You're just like, I want that, I want that, I want that. And that can happen with spirituality. But again, I think the true path of spirituality isn't necessarily in the process of bringing in all of these things, but it's actually in being able to clear out things. And when we clear out things, when we remove things, when we remove the old habits, when we remove the old belief systems, when we remove the wounded belief systems, then we make room for more of the cultivation of that balance. So spirituality is a journey of being able to know who you are, but also being able to know who you are not. And so when it comes to balance, you, for everyone in the chat, take that opportunity within your day-to-day life to be able to pay attention to all the things that you're doing and feel with your heart as you kind of connect to your higher self and think, is this helping support my balance? Or is this counterbalance? Is this causing me, you know, like a little bit of turmoil that theoretically doesn't even need to be there? Are you creating an imbalance literally as a result of not only your habits, but maybe as a result of the people you're surrounding yourself with, maybe as a result of the things that you're bringing into your field, even just literally through media and through food and through diet? So balance is something that is cultivated across all spectrums of our life. And that's what I said. It was cultivated across our diet. What does a balanced diet look like? Think about that, right? Just think, you know what that is. You know what a balanced diet looks like. What does balanced exercise look like? You know what that is. You know how to do that. What does a balanced relationship with water look like? Okay, that's easy. You figured that out. What does a balanced relationship with sunlight look like? Okay, yeah, get outside a lot. Do that. Get that vitamin. What does a balanced relationship with sleep look like? Okay, good. You can focus on that. What does a balanced relationship with social interaction look like? Meaningful social interaction look like? So the balance that we cultivate through the base level of things will allow us to actually become a better conduit for the connection with our higher self. So this is kind of the goal, is again, we're kind of imagining ourselves as like, I visualize this idea of thinking of who we are as like a river. And we have this creative life force energy that flows through us like a river. And yet this river over time kind of gets filled with junk. It gets filled with like garbage. And so what you want to do is you want to remove that garbage, and then the stream will flow naturally. You create a balance within that ecosystem, the ecosystem of your own being, the ecosystem of your own heart. And when you create that balance, the water flows. And that water is literally the connection between yourself and your higher self, the connection between yourself and nature, the connection between yourself and inspiration. You become a clear channel for spiritual messages. So our objective, I'm just going to read this just for a little bit more, and then we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to get ready to go into our next reading. Again, team, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. As soon as we have that next Patreon sign up, we'll get right into our next reading. So again, when you guys are ready, for any of the Patreon supporters already in the chat, go ahead and plug the Patreon. Just like tell them to pump it up and stuff like that. So again, with this, just wrapping up on here, peace worldwide begins from inside. Your job is to cultivate balance within yourself. And then as a result of that, you bring that balance into the life around you. You bring that into the relationships that you share, and you lead by example. You lead by example simply by being yourself. So for all of you, shifters, light guardians, conscious creators, people who are helping assist with a shift in consciousness, if you feel that you're constantly kind of looking for that next thing outside of yourself, use that as an opportunity to be able to just kind of reflect on being able to be like, well, do I need to do that? Maybe there's some things that are kind of like more at the base level that I should be focusing on more. What if I were to spend the next month getting really good at changing my diet and getting really good at exercising regularly and getting really good at getting good sleep and getting really good at getting into better social situations and relationships? That will make you more able to receive all of the spiritual things that are still before you. It is an investment for yourself to be able to get ready for the journeys and the missions still ahead. So this is about the cultivation of energy. This is about being able to go into that meditative space. And when we go into this meditative space of balance, we also allow ourselves to become messengers for this wisdom, this deep wisdom, this internal wisdom. Remove the noise. Bring yourself into that place where you can practice listening, where you can create harmony and cultivate deep wisdom, the essence of being. And again, as you do this, like when you think about this, you know, someone who has got their shift together, so to speak, and that's not to say like anybody who feels that they doesn't, there's no shame in that. We're all at different parts of our journey. And again, sometimes we have to be out of balance in order to learn how to be in balance, right? All of us have seen this. All of us have experienced this. All of us do this. We ebb and we flow. So even if you feel like there are things out of balance, don't just be like, oh, I'm the worst person ever. Da, 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 da. Use it as something to learn from. Learn from it. Consciously learn from it. Consciously show up and be like, what can I take from this experience? Can I be self-aware to acknowledge and be honest with myself that yes, my diet is out of balance. Yes, I am eating things that I don't really need to eat. And yes, my exercise could be better and things like that. And yes, I can kind of practice more meditation, things like that. See it as an invitation. See it as your soul calling you into new parts of your life where you're going to be able to level up. Because again, the spiritual path, as complex as it can be, it's incredibly simple when you realize that the process is about being able to cultivate that balance within inside of yourself. So before you even feel like you need to go out there and change the world, change yourself. There's a very powerful message, and I'll share this, and then we'll just wrap it up here. If everyone cleaned their own doorstep, the entire world would be clean. If everyone swept their own doorstep, the entire world would be cleaned. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in this way, like, you taking care of yourself is you showing up for others. It is you doing the work. It is you being responsible. And sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes we feel like we're always trying to like go out there and help everyone else. The more you take care of yourself, the more you create this cycle of cultivating this perpetual flow of energy, and you fill your cup, and then the overflow is what you are able to support others with. You guys got that? Drop an 1111 in the chat. Super powerful message for all you shifters, for all you light guardians. Super powerful wisdom just to be able to be reminded of. And I send you guys so much love and support because I know it's not always going to be easy, but it's always going to be important. It's always going to be meaningful, and you are here. And know that you are part of a community, and know that you are part of a bigger story. And one of the most important things when it comes to balance, I'll just say this, is surrounding yourself with community. Surrounding yourself with other people who are here on a shared path to support each other. So again, for those of you who are here, if you guys are brand new, you are most invited to be able to join our team chat. The link for that's in my YouTube info. It's also in my profile link for those of you on TikTok and Instagram. And again, if you want to connect even further as a leading member, again, that's for our Patreon supporters. You can sign up there at $11 a month. And we'll talk more about that as we go. For everyone in the YouTube chat, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. I can see you guys hyping it up. We got a lot of activity in the YouTube chat. Be very mindful with the YouTube chat. Please do your best to leave intentional comments. That way so I can just read it properly. What I want you to do now, I want you to leave an affirmation in the chat related to the message that you just shared. And again, as we cultivate balance, we're also cultivating the place where we'll be able to be better conduits for artistic expression. That's a powerful thing, right? So for those of you who are specifically resonating with this idea of being conscious creators, conscious media creators, as much as your work is being able to film new TikToks and create new content, your work is to cultivate that balance so that you can receive the messages that will turn into that content. And those messages will come through you as you get more into that place of balance. So super, super powerful card. Definitely tapping into our strength. Definitely tapping into, again, this inner balance, this connection with higher self, and this bigger energy that we can bring out into the world. Leave an affirmation down to the chat, and we'll read some of those on air. So an affirmation I'll just pull from the top of my head. I will say, I am devoted to cultivating balance within myself so that I continue to show up as a clear channel for my artistic, creative expression and leadership within community. That's my affirmation. I know that's like a long affirmation. Repeat that every day first thing in the morning. But go ahead, drop your affirmations in the chat, because that's going to tell your body that you just like received this message, that you were able to just kind of like embody it and encode it. And I want you guys to really see this as an invitation to really bring more awareness to cultivating that balance within your life. And not to say like, and maybe you're already doing it, right? Like you're already doing it. Now it's just kind of reminding you you're on the right path. Keep going. Keep going. What's that going to look like? And again, for those of you who may be new, make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel. We do team meditations Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I lead Monday and Friday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, other members of our community will lead. And their links are posted into the team chat in our Discord channel. So make sure you guys join our Discord channel if you want to be able to join our team meditations. That's at 10 a.m. EST, and Friday is like our extra special meditation. So make sure you guys tune in Friday if you're able to. And again, we got our team podcast tonight. All right, team. Great first reading. Let's get ready to just take a moment here to take a break. We're going to get into our next reading, but I want to be able to invite whoever's ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon. Let's work on reaching, again, if we can reach 180 on Patreon as we're doing this broadcast, that is super, super, super appreciated. And thank you again, everyone. So again, I'm going to read the affirmations on the chat, and then we'll get into the next stuff. So, okay. That's awesome. Jordan says, I posted a TikTok right before I joined the live stream that really correlates with what you're saying today. Jordan, that's awesome. That's awesome, Jordan. I honor the complicated parts of myself, says Jordan. Beautiful. Julia, by taking care of myself, I'm taking care of the world around me. Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, LaPera, thanks again for helping facilitate that. Good job for everyone. I am healthy because I am taking time for balancing myself. Beautiful. Well said. Almost divine. Psyche, welcome Psyche. I cultivate balance and meaningful experiences. Beautiful. William, learn that knowledge is within. Absolutely. Greg, I am infinite growth. Beautiful. LaPera, I am a femme spirit living in a man's body and I will change the world. Awesome. Helena, I cultivate balance within my own life and invite divine guidance into my life. We will change the world. Natasha, Reframe Queen, I happily honor and follow my intuition every single day. Beautiful. All right. Good job. Good affirmations, everyone. You guys definitely received that message. Very well done. Again, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's the primary chat. Like that's where I'm reading the primary comments on YouTube. So click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Starlight says, self-care is helping me balance and send peace to the world. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Cool. Okay, team. So we're just going to take a brief little intermission here. Again, we're still waiting on that first Patreon sign up. So again, if you guys are fans of my work, signing up to the Patreon is not only supporting me with a monthly contribution, but it's also a way for you to be able to receive support in return by connecting to our team of conscious media creators, conscious creators, and leaders. And so again, I help for the leading members, for those of you on the Patreon, I help support you guys as a conscious media creation coach. I've got 12 years of professional experience in media creation. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker dedicated to helping assist with a shift in consciousness and building community. I've been doing this for quite some time. And again, we're always excited to be able to help invite more people to connect within the community. And again, if you guys want to connect with our team chat, do that. Jordan, if you want to be able to jump into our team chat, again, please feel free to even share your newest TikTok in there. I think you're already in the team chat. That's right. And and for anybody else, you guys are welcome. Team chat's in the link below. So again, Patreon is a monthly micro contribution, and when you sign up on there, you get discounts for the item shop, including you can get discounts for the Light Guardian crystals. And if you sign up onto the Patreon, you get one of these, you literally you make your money back through the discount. So it's super cool. And again, you get access to our private community team space. You get access to the full chat. You get access to our collaborative work periods for conscious creators. You get access to joining on air for our team podcasts, and you get access to me as your conscious media creation coach. So it's only $11 a month, but the value is like way, way, way higher than that. But we do it in a way that way so more people can be supported and get involved with the community. And again, you guys are already a part of the community, but if you want to be able to join on Patreon, you can join as a leading member. You can support further. You can even lead our team meditations. You can even step in and lead our team meditations on throughout the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for anybody who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. We'll get ready to go into another reading, but we're going to work on getting that first Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading. So if you guys are fans of my work, if you guys have been enjoying the value that I've been putting out there, the community that we're building, and you guys want to dive in even further and you're in a position where you can support financially, go ahead, check out the Patreon, posted the link into the chat, buttons up there for those of you on YouTube on desktop and in the info below. Only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. And yeah, as we're doing these, we'll keep doing some more readings while inviting more people to the Patreon chat. And let's work. Like, I want to see if we can reach 180 on Patreon today. And again, my job is to reach 200 Patreon supporters by the end of the month, and contributions only process on the first of each month. All right, team, let's get into another reading. So we're going to do that mini game again. And thank you again, everyone. If you guys are new, drop a 333 in the chat. Let us know. And again, when someone signs up to the Patreon, you guys can choose. Whoever signs up for the Patreon will help facilitate another reading, and you can choose to use the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. So that's like a little bonus incentive there. But for this one, we're going to use the Ananda Tarot deck as we're standing by for our first Patreon sign up for this broadcast. So let's go ahead and get that first Patreon sign up. Let's get that first Patreon sign up. I would say, like, we were originally saying by 2:30. It's 2:40 now. So let's see if we can get it by even 3 o'clock as well. So thank you again, everyone, for those of you who are joining in, and for those of you who may be leaving early. Appreciate you guys jumping in even while you're able to. Beautiful. All right, team, let's get that Patreon sign up. And again, drop a 555 if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon. And again, contributions only process on the first of each month, so you can sign up today and the charge will come out on September 1st. And don't just think of it as like, it's not just supporting me, it's supporting you. Do it in a way where it's like, you can do it as a manifestation where it's like, yo, this is me investing in myself, and this is me connecting with an awesome team. And we got an amazing team of conscious creators that we've been building over the years. Fellow Patreon supporters, for those of you in the broadcast, drop a 777 in the chat. Just be able to like raise your hand and let people know that you're here. So beautiful. All right, Natasha, thank you so much, Natasha. Natasha says, I'm proud of you all. Thank you, Brendan. Awesome. Everybody go follow the Reframe Queen on TikTok as well. She's one of our leading members, one of our Patreon supporters. So beautiful. All right, team, let's get into this next reading and let's work on getting that Patreon support. And again, as long as we have a Patreon supporter signed up after this reading, we'll keep doing it. Otherwise, this will be the last reading, and then I got some other stuff that I can go work on. But to keep the readings going for this broadcast, we'll do it as we get more people signed up to the Patreon. And that way, so we're just like honoring the objectives and the energy exchange and the container that we're creating here as a community. So let's get that next Patreon sign up as we're doing this broadcast. But again, let's keep providing value. And for anybody here, thank you so much for adding your support and being a part of the team. For those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And from there, you can be able to take part in the mini game as well. So, all right. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to facilitate our little mini game again. I'm going to pick a number between a certain bracket, and then you guys are going to guess this number into the chat. You've only got 3 guesses. Only 1 guess at a time, and then the first person to guess this number will help facilitate the next reading. So you guys got that? Drop an 1111 in the chat. So, and again, please keep the comments relative to the chat. Any comments that are not relative to the chat, and I'll remove you from the chat. So just be aware of that, because that's about honoring the space. So thank you again, everyone. And thank you again, especially to those of you who are new, and for those of you who are holding space as regulars. All right, team, let's work on getting that Patreon sign up as we go. And again, let's dive into this. And as long as we have a Patreon sign up after this, we'll keep going into more readings. However, otherwise, we'll wrap up the reading after. We'll wrap up the broadcast after this if there's no new Patreon sign up after this one. But we'll play it by ear. So, all right, team, let's do this. Okay, for those of you on YouTube, I'm gonna give you the bracket. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, this only counts for the YouTube people in the chat. So click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube if you want to take part in this mini game, and you'll find the YouTube link through my profile link. All right, okay, here we go. All right. Okay, I got the number. All right. As soon as I say the bracket, you can start leaving your guesses into the chat. 3 guesses each, 1 guess at a time. Don't spam the chat. First one who gets it will help facilitate our reading. Here we go. Okay. The number is between 100 and 130. The number is between 100 and 130. Go ahead, leave your guesses into the chat. It only counts if you're on YouTube. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Whoever gets the number will be the next person who helps facilitate the next reading. And again, it's still a collective team reading as well. And our first reading, that was a dope first reading too. So I'm excited to see what the next card pulls. It's always exciting. All right, those numbers are going to be coming in, and then I'll do the little commentary. So again, between 100 and 130. And we've got people starting off with The Creator dropping in at 127. We've got Psyche dropping in with 117. Julia coming in with 130. We've got Rinny dropping in with a 111. And we've got several people who are aiming a little bit higher than 130. So between 100 and 130. We've got Solomon dropping in 101 Dalmatians. Didn't expect that one. Johnny dropping in a 123. Rini dropping in a 124. Jordan dropping in an 1111, aiming a little high on that one. Liam dropping in a 125. Psyche dropping in a 128. We've got more numbers coming in as people continue to make those guesses into the chat as I'm sending out the signal with my psychic intentions. Dark Creator dropping in another guess with 107. Keep leaving those guesses, everyone. No one's got it yet. Who's it gonna be? Crystal, Morphic Crystal dropping in a 113. Starlight dropping in a 111. Oh, they're getting there. Is it close? Is it warm? Is it cold? I don't know, but the number is in there somewhere. Solomon dropping in a 115. Starlight dropping in a 129. Awesome to see some of our Patreon supporters already in here taking part. Crystal dropping in a 123. Psyche dropping in a 107. We're starting to get repeats of the numbers. This is where the strategy comes in. Don't leave a number if it's already been in the chat. Make sure you're paying attention. Julia dropping in a 124. Rennie dropping in a 129. 116. 121. 103. No one's got it yet, but they're getting close. If you guys have already made 3 guesses, you can leave another guess in the chat. Go ahead and leave those next guesses. Whoever's going to get it, they're going to get it soon. Rennie drops in a 113. Cash dropping in with a 101 with their first guess. And we've got Johnny dropping in with a 106. No one's got it yet. This might be another one of those times where it's like an invisible number and somehow it takes us an hour to be able to guess it. It's happened a couple times. Jordan dropping in a 107. Starlight dropping in a 124. It looks like we're getting into duplicates now. Rennie dropping in a 108. Morphic 115. The Creator dropping in a confident guess of 117. Oh, and we've got Christina dropping in with a 109. Christina wins. Congratulations, Christina. The number was 109. Christina, thank you for dropping in. Christina literally just jumps in on the fly. First guess. Just like rocks it. Good job, Christina. Christina is one of our community members as well, who's been around for a while. So thank you, Christina, for jumping in. Everybody else, you guys can leave your take a break on the comments in the chat. Ooh, Psyche was close. Psyche dropped in a 109, like just a couple seconds after Christina too. So you guys are close on that one. That was a tight race there. So good job, everyone. Christina, go ahead and let us know if you're ready into the chat, and and we'll get right into this next reading. Again, team, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up before 3 p.m. It only takes a few minutes to sign up on Patreon. You can sign up with PayPal. You can sign up with a credit card. And again, when you sign up on Patreon, you're not only supporting me, but you're supporting the community. And you can sign up at the $11 level to be able to join as a leading member. Help us reach our next goal on Patreon, 182, currently at 176. And again, my job is literally to reach 200 this month. So I'm going to be on here doing more inspirational readings. And even if you guys are just enjoying this and you want to check out the Patreon later, read more about it, take your time and sign up a little bit later. And again, feel free to jump into the team chat, the Discord server. And thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. All right, let's hear a nice round of applause. Big thank you to Christina. Congratulations, Christina. Christina, go ahead, let us know if you're ready, and we'll facilitate this reading together. Beautiful. All right, team, let's get ready to do this. So again, we're going to use the Ananda Tarot deck, and I would love to do a Lightworker Oracle deck reading. So again, we'll do a Lightworker Oracle deck once we have someone signed up for the Patreon for today, and if that person wants to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. So let's, whoops, sorry. Yeah, Christina. Okay, Christina. So let us know that you're ready, Christina. We're going to walk you through facilitating this reading. Everybody joins in on the meditation. We're going to lead you through like focusing on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then from there, what we're going to do, we're going to get you to take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and then type now into the chat. And so that's what we're going to focus on for this one. That's what we do. And then again, the reading is collectively for everyone as well. So with that said, let's get right into this reading. I'm going to restart the Instagram feed real quick. So for those of you on Instagram, just restarting the feed real quick. And then we'll get right into this meditation. So again, for those of you who are here, go ahead, join us in this meditation. And I'm just going to restart the Instagram feed. I have to do this every hour, and we'll get right into this. So again, if anybody is thinking about signing up for the Patreon either today or soon, do me a favor and let me know by dropping a 555 in the chat. And again, we'll keep doing more readings after this as we get more people signed up for the Patreon. So go ahead, add your support onto the Patreon, and let's get ready to move into our next reading. All right, 1 second here. I just gotta go, phone, go. All right. Yeah, I got like a whole like control center set up here. All right, 2 seconds here. Just waiting for Instagram to kick in, and then we'll do that. All right. Doc Creator, seeing you drop in a 555 in the chat. Thanks so much, dude. Super, super appreciate it. Again, so whoever signs up for the Patreon next, then you'll help facilitate the next reading. And again, you guys can sign up like soon. If you guys sign up soon, that's super appreciated. That way, so we can go right into the next reading, and we won't have to take a pause. Okay, 1 second, then we'll get right into this one. I just have to restart the Instagram. And Psyche as well. Yeah, Psyche's talking about signing up for the Patreon. Yeah, I know, Psyche, you were talking about that. Super excited to be able to have both of you on board. Morphic, thanks for joining in. It was Morphic heading out? Yeah, okay, cool. All right. All right, team, let's get into the meditative part, and we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon reading. I'm confident we're going to get someone signed up for the Patreon, and then we'll get right into our next reading after this without having to take much of an intermission. And the objective is to do like as many as we can. And I'm good to go probably until like maybe 5 at the latest, depending on how much momentum we got. But I got to go play some basketball and get some, you go do some slacklining too. All right, yo, Rasa, thanks for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube if you wish, and that's the primary chat. All right, Christina, let us know that you're ready. And I assume you're ready, so let's get ready to move into this meditation. So for everybody here, if you're here, I invite you to help us facilitate this drawing of the card by focusing your intention, and our intention is show us what we need to see. And again, this is a team reading. So, all right, Christina, for everybody here, just go ahead, follow my lead, and gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, listening to my voice, gently begin to bring awareness to your breath. Straighten up your posture, open up your chest, relax your face. Bring yourself into this space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude to yourself, gratitude to me. And as you're in this space of gratitude, we'll bring our awareness to the intention of show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see, focusing on that, we being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team, this team of shifters, people helping assist with the shift in consciousness. Continuing to focus on that intention, show us what we need to see. I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul for everybody. And now, as you continue to focus on that intention, Christina, take a few more breaths here, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now in the chat, and we'll split the deck and pull the card. For everybody else, focusing on this intention, gently open your eyes, and then type your wizard noises into the chat. And for those of you who are regulars, you guys know what I mean by type your wizard noises in the chat. And we're going to charge up the deck here, and we're just going to continue to build that hype. And oh, my wizard friends, how magic continues to unfold to new ends as we continue to move through time and space, as we continue to travel into that place deep within our heart where we can see that the mystery of you and me has always been hidden within plain sight. And so now is the time for us to be able to shine our light. And so as we rise into this place as light guardians, here we stand as we continue to use our magic as we share within the land. And as Christina types now into the chat, We shall see what message the universe has. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Woo, woo, woo. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Shoom, shoom, shoom. You. I love reading your guys' wizard sound effects. They're just like ridiculous. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next card that we have pulled for everybody who's here on behalf of all of us with Christina helping facilitate is Swords number 10. For those of you on TikTok, Instagram, we'll show it to you guys there. Swords number 10. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. We're going to open up the book. I'll read from you what's in the book. And then again, what we'll do from there, I'll channel additional information, additional hype. And then from there, we'll just continue to kind of like talk more about it as a community. All right, team. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, I would encourage you to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That way so you can see the primary camera. Otherwise, it's hard for me to show all the cameras. I have 3 cameras right now. YouTube, which is on my laptop, and then TikTok and Instagram, which are on my phones. All right. As you're here for this reading, just allow yourself to be present. I'm just going to visually explain the card. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up, and then we'll get right into our next reading after this without having to take any sort of break or anything like that. So if you guys are ready to sign up for my Patreon, links in my profile, links also in the YouTube info, monthly contribution to be able to help support the community and to be able to also be able to help support you in return and join as a leading member. Let's talk about this card. Here we go. Thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. Swords 10. So looking at this card, what do we have visually? Just explaining it. This is just me visually explaining it. We have 10 swords floating above the horizon, literally like in outer space. You can see the earth down below with like the stratosphere and the clouds. You got some like cumulus nimbus clouds floating there, and the swords are all crossing in different directions. You can kind of like see them just, it almost reminds me of like the pickup sticks game or something like that. And they're semi-transparent, and you got some stars in the background and some beautiful blues. Again, that's literally just me just explaining the visual image of the card. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, there it is as well. All right, now we're going to read from the book, and then I'm going to go into further information. And again, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up so we can go right into our next reading as we're doing this one. So thank you again, everyone. Next person who signs up for the Patreon will help facilitate the next reading. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Drop that 555 in the chat if you guys are signing up for the Patreon now or in the near future. Here we go. As you are here, listen. This message is for you. I'm going to use my like wizard voice. 10 of Swords. The image. In the infinite distance of the cosmos, 10 swords appear to transform themselves into chaos above a bottomless world. Meaning, similarly to the 10 of Flames, here in the 10 of Swords, a common trait of the sequence of 10 is reached, a climactic high point at which no further improvement is possible. This means that the highest degree of consciousness is attainable, but it also means that something is being brought to an end. Human understanding tends to judge presumptuously. Every judgment that is made should be borne by the consciousness that one is his own final judge. Consequently, this means that man is responsible for his own thinking and therefore also his own actions. What is brought into the world as judgment often originated as prejudice in thought. The situation requires considering all eventualities in order to be able to arrive at a concrete result. All mental abilities should be used as the situation requires thinking in larger parameters. As I'm reading anything, drop an 1111 if it resonates with you, and we'll get to the affirmations as we go. The consciousness of the whole should not be lost sight of. It is necessary to observe all possibilities in order to arrive at the final realization that precipitates a wise decision. Too much mental activity, however, would mean that the emotional world is getting colder, indicating a loss of compassion and human warmth. Therefore, it is worth recommending letting the mind come to rest and letting thoughts stand still. In the Asian way of thought, the mind is often compared to a monkey that jumps restlessly from branch to branch. The mind with its endless thoughts, however, is only restless until it finds its center, which is peace. The original state of the mind is pure being. All of its movements follow the goal of returning back to this state. Astrological significance: Mercury, Saturn, conjunction, opposition aspects. Keywords: mind, thinking ahead, inner orientation, becoming conscious, holistic thought, inspiration, knowledge, realistic self-assessment, disillusionment, reality check, meditation. Traditional meaning: realization, clarity, understanding, logic, reason, stillness, closure. Okay, let's get ready to dive a little bit deeper into this. All right, team, let's do this. We're still standing by for that first Patreon sign up. You guys know what to do. Click that link. You can sign up as you're listening to this. Diving a little bit deeper, here's some more channeled inspiration. Shout out to my girlfriend who's tuned in on Instagram. I just had to do that to embarrass her. All right. Okay. So, 10 of Swords. This is a very, very interesting card that I'm sure is going to relate to different people in a variety of ways. When we use the swords will often relate to the symbolism of the mind, the symbolism of thoughts, the symbolism to be able to like pierce through illusion or to be able to cut things away, but also to be able to construct things. You know, the sword is a tool. How you use it is up to you. You can use it to be able to like cut things down, or you can use it to like cut pieces to build things up. And so with this card, when we're relating to the 10, this is like a culminating point. This is about being able to get ready to move into the next chapter. But before we move into the next chapter, this is a valuable reminder to be able to make sure that we're taking that opportunity to reflect, that we're taking that opportunity to slow down and to be able to assess and to be able to look at the chapters that we are coming from, to be able to make sure that we can extract the lessons we need before jumping into that next part, to be able to make sure that we're thinking ahead by looking backwards, to make sure that we're not forgetting anything, that we're not leaving anything, that we're not missing anything. The universe works through a series of cycles, spirals, patterns, and this happens within the lessons within our life. And so, how many people have experienced this before, where you might go through a lesson within your life, but then if you don't fully consciously embody it, that lesson will literally show up again? How many people have been in a relationship and it was kind of crappy, and then they get out of it, and then next thing they know, they get in another relationship, and it's like the same relationship or something like that? It's like, what happened there? What actually happened there? Is that because that is what you deserve? Not necessarily, but maybe it was also because there was some kind of lesson or some sort of awareness that was still unconscious that we needed to bring consciousness to in order to be able to get the lesson and to conclude it as we get ready to move into the next chapter. As you get ready to move into that next chapter, you really want to be able to honor the newness of this space. You really want to be able to honor the new opportunities that are rising for you. You don't literally want to just like bring with you the same lessons you went through and do it again. Like, you don't need to do that. I mean, sometimes you literally do need to do that if you haven't gotten the lesson. But why don't we get the lesson? Usually because we're not being mindful, because we're not fully conscious, because we're not looking at things from a realistic self-assessment, we're not doing a reality check, and we're not meditating. So this can literally happen even within the cycle of a single day. Before your day ends, how different would it be to literally just take like 5-10 minutes to sit down and just be able to be like, okay, how was my day today? What did I learn? What did I experience? What lessons did I go through? And if you can do that, and then you kind of create this clean slate for the new energy of that next chapter to arrive. So again, this is basically reminding us that throughout our life, we will reach that culminating point of new chapters. And as we reach those new chapters, it's significantly important that we take the time to review the past to get ready to move into the future. One of the best metaphors of how we move through this life is to be able to see it as a student, and to be able to see what we're going through as like a classroom. And so when we are moving through as a student, we need to make sure that we're paying attention to the lessons, because every now and then the universe is going to throw a pop quiz at us. It's going to throw a test. And if you haven't studied for that test, are you going to pass it? You might get lucky. But you're not going to get lucky all the time. So what does it mean to be a good conscious student? A good conscious student is, again, someone who is cultivating that self-awareness, who is looking back, who is reflecting, who is practicing on using the previous things we talked about relative to the balance of being able to cultivate that inner balance so that we can create clarity to be able to see in both directions, so that we can see the past and we can see into the future, and we can honor both from the present as we get ready to move towards the lessons that are ahead. Traditional meanings, this is about realization, realizing the cycles, realizing the lessons, clarity, creating clarity as we kind of like resolve things and put a book, like, you know, end a chapter and get ready for the next part. And then again, just moving forward towards like new levels of inspiration, new levels of learning, new levels of consciousness. But and I'll just take 1 second here. Huge shout out to Melissa. Melissa just signed up for the Patreon. Everybody here, just give a huge shout out and thank you to Melissa. Melissa is a Pisces Psyche in the YouTube chat. Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa has been synced up recently with the community, and I'm super excited for them to get involved with the Patreon. So we'll do this, and then we'll do the next reading, and we'll get Melissa to help facilitate. Thank you, Melissa. Super appreciated. Let's give a nice warm thank you to Melissa. So again, the other thing here that I think is really, really interesting to be able to remind us is that it says here, too much mental activity, however, could mean that the emotional world is getting colder, indicating a loss of compassion and human warmth. So when you're reflecting on the past, don't just reflect at it purely from an analytical perspective of being like, okay, you know, like this person did this happened, this did that, but make sure you feel it. Feel the past. Feel it. Feel the lessons. How did they make you feel? Because if you get too much in your mind, you become very analytical, but you'll kind of disconnect yourself from the lessons of the emotional lessons of those experiences. So this is, again, just kind of like reminding us that we need to carry that balance of analytical and emotional, right? That way, so we can see things from that full perspective. So you can look at things and you can process them and you can become aware of whatever you got out of those experiences. And you can also notice how it made you feel. You can also notice how it brought awareness to unconscious parts. It might have brought awareness to wounds. It might have brought up triggers and things like that. And then you use the analytical to kind of nurture the emotional, and then you continue to move forward. Otherwise, if you just do too much of one or the other, it's going to be hard to kind of like fully extract the totality of those experiences. So going to wrap up here. This card, again, I've kind of already summarized it, but again, drop those 1111s in the chat. Let me know if this resonates with you. Again, 10 of Swords, identifying the culmination of chapters within our life and the significance of being able to look back on the chapters that we have come from to make sure that we have learned the lessons, to review them, to be able to clear the slate and make space for the new lessons in the next chapter ahead. Because if we don't, we are destined to repeat the lessons that we didn't fully reflect on. You guys got that? And again, as we do that, this is again about being able to create that next level of consciousness that allows us to accelerate through our lessons in a way that will just move us towards more of our destiny. Your destiny is not meant to be stuck in the same lesson over and over and over again. But again, sometimes you'll go through that lesson to be able to go through that like stark awakening, where as eventually you'll be like, oh, it took me 3 times, but now I got it, right? That happens usually, again, as we're maturing. But as we mature, you don't need to go through a lesson 3 times in order to be able to get to it. Maybe when you were like 18, 19 years old and you were like out in the dating scene and like things like that, or you were just learning your self-worth and learning how to set boundaries, it might take a couple times, and that's okay. But as you get older, honor the idea that the universe will send you an experience so that you can learn it once, one time, show up, be present, acknowledge the lessons as they are happening, acknowledge the lessons as they are arriving. Don't just sit there and be like, is this a lesson? Nah, like, no way, that can't be it. Like, everything's a lesson. Everything is teaching you. Show up for those lessons in the best way you can. And again, in you doing that, you're not just honoring yourself, you're honoring the collective. And your goal is to be able to accelerate your soul's growth with as much efficiency as possible, because we need you. We need you not just to get stuck in old cycles, but we need you like chapters down the road. We need you in that place where you've cultivated more of that balance, that self-worth, and you're serving. You're serving others. You're serving up in spiritual service. And even as you're doing that, you will still go through lessons. The lessons will never leave you. It's just a matter of the consciousness that you bring into the lessons as they arrive. So what lessons are you going through right now? How conscious are you of them? Can you be conscious of lessons as they literally arrive? And can you learn things with efficiency by being emotionally and analytically, psychologically present with mind and heart, that mind-heart coherence? If you can be aware of this, if you can cultivate this awareness, you will go through periods of growth where in the past it might have taken you like 3 or 2 months to go through something. Now you could literally go through an experience and you can extract the lesson and the growth literally within like a day. Literally, it could literally come through in like 15 minutes of sitting there and meditating and be like, okay, what happened? Okay, why did that happen? Okay, how did that make me feel? Okay, what would I like to happen next? Ask yourself those questions. I'll say those again, like literally reflect within your day, within your lessons. What happened? Why did it happen? How did it make me feel? What do I want to happen next? You can write that down if you want. Like even just somebody type that into the chat. That way so people can just kind of like memorize it. I mean, I just kind of made that up right now, but I feel like that's like actually quite simple. Whatever you're going through. And again, sometimes those questions might go really deep, right? Be like, why did this happen? Be like, oh crap. That's because that happened because I didn't communicate clearly. I didn't set my boundaries. And I didn't set my boundaries because that reflected me not fully recognizing my own self-worth, and my own self-worth came as a result of me not consciously cultivating balance within my personal practice. And maybe that was a result of me being around people who don't reflect to me back my own self-worth. So you might find a little bit of a ripple effect through there in terms of like why things happen. But again, even just doing that, it lets you dive deep. It lets you cultivate that awareness. It lets you find the root of the lesson. And then it allows you to move into that place where you consciously decide what happens next. And that choice is up to you. And you can either make that choice to be able to be like, I'm just going to ignore it. I don't care, whatever. And then you just move on. And then the universe is just like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. Flash forward 2 weeks later and like the same lesson comes up again or something like that. So again, don't get stuck in cycles where you're unnecessarily repeating lessons. Consciously bringing that awareness as they are going through, as they are happening. Resolve them, get the extraction of that lesson, and then prepare to clear space for that next chapter so the new lessons can come in. And again, the lessons aren't always going to be like, oh, the things that suck. The lessons can be like, yo, this is about learning how to be able to like share my creative gifts. This is about being able to like own my power and my sovereignty and my voice. Those are the lessons you want. The lessons that are teaching you how to step into your power. All lessons teach you how to step into your power. I'll just say this and then we'll wrap it up. I went longer than I planned on this one. Every single experience that you go through can be seen from a disempowering perspective or an empowering perspective. The choice is literally yours. Even when stuff happened in the past that may seem kind of crappy, you have the choice to see it from an empowering perspective if you extract the lesson from it and realize that this lesson was actually leading you towards empowerment. The lesson will never be, oh, shrink smaller. The lesson will never be, oh, treat yourself more crappily. The lesson will always be, honor your self-worth and stand in your truth. And be compassionate and kind to yourself and others. That will be the lesson in multiple forms, in some form or another, every single time. The lesson will always be moving you towards more of your growth. Because again, the universe isn't just here to make you like happy. It's not just here to bully you. It's here to evolve your consciousness. And sometimes that will happen through lessons that can be very challenging. And then ultimately at the end though, it continues to awaken you into more of your power. So drop those 1111s if that resonates with you. Guys, that was a super dope message to be able to come through. Again, thank you, Psyche, leaving the questions there. What happened? Why did it happen? How did it make me feel? And what do you want to happen next? Yeah, that's powerful. I think just asking that like every day, that'd be powerful. Do that for like a week and come back and tell me how that works. Swords 10, super powerful card. Thank you again to Christina for helping facilitate that. Let's leave some affirmations down in the chat. And again, an affirmation related to the message. So I am consciously aware of lessons as they arrive and moving forward into next chapters with an open heart and an inspired mind. That's my little affirmation. Go ahead, leave some affirmations down in the chat relative to the message that you received there. Beautiful. All right, with that said, we're going to get ready to move right into our next reading, and let's work on setting that up. Psyche, let us know if you're ready, and you can also decide, Psyche, did you want to do the Lightworker Oracle deck, or did you want to do the Ananda Tarot deck? Let us know. Lightworker Oracle deck gets into a little bit more specific stuff, very much more like Lightworker specific. Both are very cool. The Lightworker Oracle deck has some like really cool symbolism in it. And again, as we're doing this, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Again, this will be the last reading unless there are more people that are ready to sign up for the Patreon today. And then we'll keep going. I'll schedule things in. I'll let you guys know when I have to leave at some point. And again, I'm also hosting the team podcast tonight at 8 p.m. EST. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. That's going to be our open mic jam. So that's going to be really cool. All right, just reading your affirmations in the chat. Jordan says, I love you all so much. Thank you for sharing this space. Jordan, thank you as well. Thank you, Jordan. I'm working through my cycles. Good for you, Jordan. Psyche says, I am open to receive the lessons. They will allow me to step into my power. Beautiful. Rasa, welcome, dude. Thank you so much for joining. Rasa is one of our Patreon supporters as well. I am evolving. I am not letting my past decide my future. Awesome. All right, we're going to do the Oracle deck. That's true. Okay. All right, any other affirmations? Go ahead, leave that in the chat. We still got about 12 people tuned in on YouTube right now, so that's awesome. And again, team, as we're doing this, we'll focus on this reading. This, again, is still a team reading. And we'll do another reading if there's another person signed up for the Patreon. And again, even if you guys are brand new to this or you want to sign up for the Patreon later, go ahead, check it out. It's totally like, again, it's very like affordable, flexible. And even if you just want to be able to join our team chat, you can do that there. And just be able to get your foot in the door, see the space, and then when you sign up for the Patreon, you'll get full access to the rest of the chat. It's a very intentional team. Like, that's the one thing you'll notice with our community. It's like very intentional, and just being amongst a team is like a huge investment for yourself. You get to wake up every day. You get to do our meditations with us. You get to like echo back your affirmations. You get to share your content. I get to work with you to help you in building your content. You get to join on air with our team podcast. You get to practice stepping into your role as a leader. Again, it's not just supporting me, it's supporting you as well. So sign up for the Patreon as a way to be able to say like, yo, Brendan, I love your work, but also do it to be able to be like, yo, I'm doing this as an investment for myself because I say yes to me. So awesome. All right. Beautiful. All right, team, let's get ready to move into this. And again, we'll do another reading if there's another person ready to sign up for the Patreon. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for this broadcast, which is totally cool. Because again, like, I have to be aware of my own energy, and I've been talking nonstop for how many hours have we been? At least 90 minutes. About 90 minutes so far. So beautiful. All right. Beautiful. Psyche, I am ready and willing to invest in myself. I step into my power. I am worthy. Ain't that's a good plug for the Patreon right there. So if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon, do me a favor, drop a 555 in the chat. Just let me know. You can sign up as we're doing this reading. And again, we'll go right into the next reading as soon as we have another person sign up for the Patreon. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today, but I would love to do another reading after this. So, let me just update the info on screen and then we'll do this. So Psyche, confirm for me that you're ready. I know you are. And for everybody here, let's get ready to move into this next part. Okay, so Melissa. Awesome. So thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters, to Melissa, to Christina, to Pat, and to Isabella. And you can see their info updated on the YouTube screen there. Beautiful. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to jump over on YouTube, go ahead and click the link in my profile. For those of you on Facebook, I don't see the Facebook chat as we're doing this, but if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, you can do that too. And I'm just checking real quick to make sure that there's no, there's like no one's even tuned in. There's not many people tuned in on Facebook right now, which is common, so that's totally fine. But if you guys want to jump over to YouTube from Facebook, the link's in the comments down below, and you can join the rest of the team chat there. All right, team. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Melissa is ready. Here we go. Okay, so for everybody here, we're going to drop into that meditative space. And we're going to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. Thank you again to Melissa. And if you're here, this is a reading for all of us. So let's do this together. All right. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just restarting the broadcast real quick. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, here we go. Thanks again, everyone. This has been fun. This is all just practice for all of us. We're building a team. Beautiful. Awesome. Welcome, Jenny. Thanks for joining in. All right. Sarah, for the readings, again, go ahead and check out the Patreon. If someone wants to explain to Sarah the reading process, we'll just get into the meditation part right now. Thank you, Sarah, for joining. Okay. All right. So for everybody here, go ahead, gently close your eyes, begin connecting with your breath. Straighten up your spine, open up your chest, relax your face, breathing here. And as you breathe here and listen to my voice, gently allowing yourself to bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for showing up, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for myself, gratitude for the team. As you hold this gratitude within your heart for everybody here who's tuned in, please join us in meditating. As you hold this gratitude in your heart, focusing on the intention of show us what we need to see. Us being the collective, us being the individual, us being the team. Focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see. For everybody here, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Continuing to focus here. Melissa, Psyche, take a few more breaths, listen to your intuition, and when you're ready, type now in the chat and we'll split the deck. For everybody else, focusing on this intention, show us what we need to see. Gently open your eyes, and you can type your wizard noises in the chat as well. And we'll charge up the deck a little bit more. Here we go. And oh my goodness, what a path we are on as we continue to see what has truly gone on within this story that is unfolding before us, as we continue to allow others to rise before thus. As the sun rises and the moon sets, we will continue to step into our best. Wizards and light guardians and shifters unite, for we are here to change this world with the magic of our light. Zoom, 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 vroom, 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 zoom, 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 zoom. And so, a holding into this space, as Psyche types now into the chat, we shall split the deck. And see what message the universe has. All right, let's see. What do we got? I'm always excited to look. I haven't looked at it yet. It's always like, it reminds me of like opening up like a deck of Pokemon or Magic the Gathering cards. Like, what is it? What do we got? What do we got? We've got, ooh, this is a good one. I like this one. This is actually one that I haven't read on air before. So the card that we have pulled for everybody here is card number 37, the Heart Transmission. Card number 37, the Heart Transmission. Beautiful, beautiful card. So let me just take a moment here. I'm going to open up the deck, open up the book, and we're going to read some more information. And then again, I'm going to channel some additional information, and we're going to hype things up. And again, as we're doing this, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Again, I'm totally down to do another reading after this. So once we get that next Patreon sign up, we'll do another reading. However, if there are no new Patreon signups after this, then we'll wrap up the broadcast, and that's totally cool. And I appreciate everybody joining in. And you guys can always sign up later on to the Patreon. And yeah, let's focus in on this reading. For those of you tuned in on TikTok, click the link in my profile so you can join in on YouTube, and you can find the Patreon link there. And again, you can also see the primary camera because it's hard for me to like show both. So click the link in my profile if you're tuned in on TikTok. All right, here we go. Number 37, the Heart Transmission. Beautiful. All right, that's interesting. Psyche saying, oh my God, that's how I was sitting, holding my crystal over my heart with two hands. Beautiful. All right, so just visually explaining the image of this card. What do we have here? We've got this beautiful image of presumably a female with their hand on their chest, and you can see there's kind of like this light kind of like emanating from their chest, and they literally are obviously like a depiction of an angel, and they've got this golden blonde hair, and it almost, I don't know, there's like something there. I don't know if for a second I thought it was a rose, but I think they're bubbles. They're like pink bubbles, and they got this beautiful blue kind of robe along with their white robe. Again, I'm just explaining the literal information of the card. And just the look on their face is just really, really just like smiling, pristine. And again, their hand over their heart with the light illuminating from their heart, just really in their heart space. Beautiful. Okay, let's dive in a little bit deeper. I'm going to read from you the information in the book, and then we're going to channel some more information. Again, as we go through this, if you are here, this message is for you. This is how we do these. These are team readings For those of us who are here to help assist with the shift in consciousness, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. If you're here, this message is for you. And again, as we do this, we'll keep an eye open for another Patreon sign up. Let's get that next Patreon sign up. Let's do it, guys. Let's reach 178 real soon, and we'll keep going after this. All right, here we go. If you're here, this message is for you. You can just kind of meditate as we read it to you. Number 37, the heart transmission. Your heart is capable not only of giving and receiving love, but of connecting you to a great network of beings that resonate in the highest frequencies of divine love. Through your heart, you can receive information and guidance from networks of light that fill our universe. As you learn to open your heart to receive these transmissions, your ability to work with group consciousness in a loving way increases. You shall affect humanity in a loving way, influencing the collective rather than allowing the lower frequencies of the collective to overwhelm you. Again, this is a really, really powerful card. Working with group energy is a leap on the spiritual path with risk, but also great reward in terms of empowerment to manifest your life mission. The risk with group energy is mitigated when you approach it from the heart rather than your head. The mind can argue one point of view and then immediately and convincingly argue its opposite. Again, as I'm reading this, drop those 1111s in the chat if anything I say resonates with you. The cards plugging the Patreon, right? The cards like, yeah, join the group, join the team. So, all right. The heart, however, either feels something resonates. The heart, however, either feels something resonates or it doesn't. Whether or not there is a logical explanation for it. The mind can be seduced by those who tell you they have great spiritual power, but this will instantly trigger intuitive warning bells in your heart for those with genuine power. For those with genuine power do not need to convince you of it. The heart is the key to deciding where you offer your devotion. When you offer devotion to the group consciousness that loves you unconditionally, your heart feels safe, loved, and an inner knowing of the rightness of that group for you, whether that group exists on the earthly plane or in the spiritual dimension. That's really cool. I like that. For as long as it gives you life, broadens your horizons, nourishes your truths, and empowers you to live your destiny, that group is serving you. If you do not experience these positive effects, if you feel drained, confused, or that your issues are not resolving as you work with this group, listen carefully to your heart and question whether it is indeed the right place for you to be. It is important to also work with groups that you can serve. Although you may love your family, for example, they may not be the group you can best serve. Perhaps those who are open, willing, and receptive to your spiritual gifts are outside your family. Perhaps your family can benefit spiritually from you in the role of mother or son or daughter, but not in the role of spiritual mentor. On the other hand, some groups may want to feed off you, but not learn and do it themselves. They may wish for you to give them the answer to their problems. They may not be willing to develop the trust, courage, confidence, and empowerment that is required to take responsibility for their own relationship to the universe, which is needed so they can grow in soul wisdom through their life experiences. Your heart may guide you to withdraw your services from such people because you love them and want them to grow. Your heart will guide you to operate differently with different people. You may be guided to explore hobbies or interests that lead you to the next group that your presence can assist. The group will also guide you when it is time to move on. The transmission of the heart gives a truthful assessment of the interaction of your frequency with the frequency of the group. Is it mutually raised? Then this is a spiritually constructive connection. Is it diminished? This will not be so helpful. The heart empowers you to know when to work with others, for how long, and in what way. Trust it. The more you do, the more groups which can bring great benefit to you and to the planet can enter into your world. Wow, okay. Let's dive deeper into this one. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, do me a favor. Click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. The audio is better and you can see the primary camera. And again, as we're doing this, I'm gonna go a little bit further. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Again, without me having even to plug it, this card is super relevant to the connection of team, but I'll just mention real quick. Signing up onto the Patreon gives you access to the community as a leading member, which gives you full access to the rest of our chat, all that cool stuff. Check it out. Sign up only takes 5 minutes. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So the heart transmission. So this is a really cool card, and honestly this is the first time that I've even read this card. This deck, I've actually been only reading it when we've been doing live on air tarot readings. And so this card, this is news to me. This is new to me, and this is actually a really, really exciting card. And I think the message to be able to get from this card is understanding the importance of working with groups, understanding the importance of being in a communal space that is going to support your growth. And community is going to be something that should be a reciprocal give and take, give and receive, something that is harmonious in a way that is going to continue to serve your soul. And groups in themselves are going to look different for different people. There's going to be groups that are going to just be your family dynamic, but then what this card is more kind of leaning towards is the importance of spiritual group, is the importance of spiritual community. Having that connection with other people who see you on that soul level and who hold space for you to be able to express and share your gifts and to be able to step into your own place of leadership, that's going to help you level up in ways that you simply would not be able to do by yourself. You can still go far by yourself, but you go further when you go with a team. And so what I think is really interesting with this group, with this card, is the idea of listening to the intuitive wisdom of the heart. Yo, Breezy, what's up? Thanks for joining in. Breezy does, everyone go subscribe to Brianna's channel. She does tarot readings on Facebook and stuff like that too. But for this card, it's really plugging this idea that your heart is going to be almost like an intuitive truth detector for what is right for you. And so if you're connected with a group and maybe it just doesn't feel right, and I'm sure some of us have come across this, not even just like a group, but it could even be like, you know, like a creator in YouTube or something like that. And I'm not always just saying like even just like a conscious creator, it could really be anything. But if you guys notice that, how there's like certain creators and you kind of, you'll either vibe with them or you don't, right? And so when you kind of get good at listening to your heart will kind of give you clear signals where it will say like, yo, like this is exciting, move towards this. This is something that is going to help you step into more of your power. And if things change, we'll let you know. But this does give an awesome opportunity for us to be able to invite a deeper connection with the wisdom of the heart, and to know that when you're in that place where you're connecting with community, pay attention to the heart. How does it feel? Does it get excited? Do you get excited about the idea of being connected with a team, being connected with people who are on this shared mission, on this shared mythos, on this shared path? And again, as I kind of intentionally plug what it is that we're doing here, because I'm not just plugging it, I'm inviting you guys. If you guys are watching this video and you're just like, yo, like I like this vibe, like I like the intention of what we're building as a community, then please, the invitation is there for you to connect further. Again, either through our team chat or connect further by joining on our Patreon. And again, as we just kind of dive deeper into this card is really, really hitting home the importance of how being a part of the group will help you evolve into more of the leader by giving you a chance and an opportunity to not only learn from the group, but to also share within the group. And that's one of the first things that we do within the community, within our Paradigm Shift Central community, is we invite people to share. We invite people to step into that place of leadership. We invite people to practice. practice creating content, practice joining on air for our team podcast, practice commenting into the chat, practice joining our synergy circles, practice joining our collaborative work periods. Because for a lot of people, they're just like, yo, I've never been on air before. I've never been on a team podcast before or something like that. But when you can kind of like be in that space where you feel supported and you're just like, yo, this is empowering. I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel respected. I feel loved. That's huge. And that's like an important thing that you want to be able to give to your heart. So for each and every single one of us, you're all going to vibe with different types of communities, and that's totally okay, right? Like, I didn't create this community expecting every single person to join, but I know that the people who resonate with the work that I do and with the work that we do as a community will naturally gravitate towards it. So you want to be able to pay attention in your heart to keep your feelers out, to even put out that intention, be like, put that intention, like, I'm looking for a badass conscious community to be able to connect with. Universe, I'm putting that intention. And then when when it shows up, when possible prospects and options show up, pay attention to your heart. How does it feel? Does it feel excited? Does it feel like it's something that's right for you? And again, knowing that not every single group is going to be the group that's right for you. And again, knowing that there's going to be a variety of groups. You may not even be connected with one group. There may be a group that you're connected with online, and then there may be a group that you're connected locally that you like do meditation with, or maybe a group that's at like a yoga studio. And again, the thing that's really interesting with this card is that it really emphasizes the idea of connecting with groups that are even like non-physical. So this could be like, I don't know, it's like I can't really mention so much on this personally because it's not something that I've delved in a lot to. But for some people, they could be like, oh, you know, like I feel a connection with like the Pleiadians, or the Syrians, or the Lyrians, or any of these star groups, or these like collectives of like star family or things like that. And even still, the most important thing with this is to make sure that we're using discernment, make sure that we're being honest with what we are feeling in our heart. If you have something that you're getting involved with the group, and if something doesn't sit right, either use that as an opportunity to communicate with the group, you know, find a way to be able to reach out to someone and be like, hey, maybe I have a question here, or just identify the fact that's just like, you know what, maybe this is just a way for me to know that there's something else out there that's more in alignment with who I am. And some people might do great in the group that you don't really resonate with. That's okay. We all got different styles. So like, that's where like there's tons of different spiritual communities out there. And I think it's great. As long as the person or the team leading it is coming from that like place of like genuine, authentic, like connection and intention, that is important. Like, because again, how many of you have seen that where maybe there's been some sort of person online who kind of like presents themselves from kind of like and I'm not naming any names in particular. None even particularly come to mind, but I'm sure you guys have probably like come across even just hints of some stuff, or even like, you know, maybe you've seen it like from a third party perspective. Or heard stories of like groups where it's like kind of like this person is kind of like putting themselves as like a godhead, or, you know, almost like it becomes very like cult like or something like that. Like, your heart knows when things are kind of like off, but at the same time, it's important to be able to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, and to make sure that we're intuitively connected with our heart, and make sure that we're not just reaching out for the first thing that comes to us just because we want it. Right? Like this goes hand in hand with honoring the relationships that we are worthy of, be it with groups and be it even with personal relationships, right? Like because again, even though this card's really specifically talking about groups, this message applies to relationships. This message applies to, you know, getting into different relationships with friends and even romantic relationships. Allow yourself to notice a difference where it's like, you know, say back in the day, and again, going back to the previous card about like not repeating old cycles, maybe you met someone at a party and maybe you were drunk or something like that. Maybe you smoked a few joints and you were super excited, and you were just kind of in that moment and you're just like, oh my God, I want this excitement. And you kind of jump into it. Next thing you know, you're like dating this person, and then a week goes by and you're just kind of like, like this isn't really what it, like, you know, like the excitement kind of jumped me into it, but now I'm kind of like feeling second guessing, like this person isn't quite the best fit for me. And then you have to be really honest with yourself and make that choice of, do you continue to stay in that group and eventually continue to learn the lessons that are going to basically be able to tell you to say like, no, there's something else better there for you? Or do you listen to that heart transmission and hear it right away, and you're just like, actually, you know what? Nothing against you or the group, but this isn't the best fit for me, and that's okay. I still think you're a cool person. No offense. But I'm gonna honor myself by removing myself from this group, from this relationship, be it a collective or a personal one, and to open myself up to something else, right? Because where one door closes, another one opens. So make sure that you're listening to your heart transmission. Again, I like this. The transmission of the heart gives a truthful assessment of the interaction of your frequency with the frequency of the group. Is it mutually raised? Then this is a spiritually constructive group. Is it diminished? This will not be so helpful. The heart empowers you to know when to work with others and for how long it may be. And that's the thing, right? Like that can happen with groups. Like that could literally happen where you like join a group, you're with it for a bit, you get some things out of it, and then eventually you're just like, sweet, this was a good like launch pad, and now I'm moving on to something else. Like that's okay. Like you don't always have to leave a group in a way where it's like, oh, like, like we're gonna burn bridges and leave with like, like kick dust up and stuff like that. You can move on for a group simply because it served you, and now you're ready for that next thing. You're ready to move on. And again, this is the same thing with relationships. Every relationship prepares us for the next one, right? So one group may prepare you, and then next thing you know, maybe you start your own group, right? Like that. And honestly, like within our community, we actually encourage that. So with our leading members, we encourage them to create their additional groups, to create their own communities. So like that's the thing with our community, like it's kind of like this central community, Paradigm Shift Central, and then it's kind of like a nexus point where other communities grow beyond it. Because in the same way I've created a community of conscious creators and leaders, I literally encourage other people in the team, other leading members, to create their own communities, to create their own collectives, to create their own space where others can join who resonate with their work. So there's a little invocation here. Drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. Brianna says, I'm connected with this group online, and then I'm connected with a group in the United States where we do videos, podcasts, and festivals. Love collecting Star Family worldwide. Exactly, right? Like you can be connected with multiple groups at multiple times. Like it's totally cool. The important thing is just listening to your heart. And when you notice if things just kind of like feel as if it's just not really the best fit for you, listen to yourself. Don't just join the group just because it's like the one that's in front of you, or it's the one that's accessible, or you're doing it because like the person who's running it is someone who you really like see as being super popular and stuff like that. Like make sure you're joining from a heart place opposed to kind of like a subconscious ego place of kind of like just wanting to be one of the cool kids type thing, right? Show up as an investment for yourself. Show up as a way to nurture yourself. Show up as a way to be able to get ready to grow into that next layer of who you are. So super, super powerful card. And again, just reminding us that our heart is this very powerful compass that helps us discern what relationships are right for us and to listen to it. Follow that which excites you. That's one of the best things that I could do. From a balanced place, follow that which excites you. From a sober place, follow that which excites you. Follow that which makes your heart sing, because there is something there, and seek out those groups that are going to be a good fit for you, and then make that choice, make that investment. And again, plug in the Patreon and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like you can join the community as a collective simply by being present and joining on air and being a part of our broadcast. But then if you want to like join further, the option is there. And again, see that as an investment for yourself, where you joining the group in the same way you would go to the same way you go to a membership at a gym, right? Like, why do you go to a gym? Why do you pay for a membership at a gym? Because you're investing for yourself, and that investment will actually make you more likely to engage. Like if the gym was free, you'd probably go to it less. But the fact that you pay like $30 a month, you're going to go to it, and you're going to make sure that you're getting out of it, and you're kind of like honoring that energy exchange and that investment for yourself. So that's why, like, again, with communities and groups, there's going to be different types. But with our community, we have layers to it. People can be involved on multiple layers. But then for those who want to join in as leading members, absolutely, that option is there, and there's a ton of value, and it's all there to support you. The community that we have created, it is there to help build up conscious creators and leaders. So find the groups that are going to build you up. Pay attention to the groups that aren't really receptive with the energy that you have to share. Maybe move beyond them, or maybe bring up a way to be able to resolve whatever the issue may be. Even create your own group, find the others, look for multiple groups, and listen to your heart as you do this, because in doing so, you're investing in yourself, which is going to help you connect further with your heart and amplify your ability to send out the transmission of your heart and the transmission of your message and the service that you bring into the world. So drop those 1111s if that resonates with you. Absolutely. Person in the TikTok chat, the Forever, saying groups outside my comfort zone provide more clues and perspective about my beliefs. Absolutely. Beautiful lady in the TikTok says, found 2 spiritual friends recently that have been helping me grow. Beautiful. Yeah. And again, right, like a group could literally just be like, it could start off with just one other person, and then maybe you start finding a couple other people. A big part within the project that we do, it hasn't been as much of a focus lately just because of the circumstance of the world. We encourage people literally to create paradigm shift communities where they are, which focus on hosting open-minded discussion meditation circles. And so when we were doing this project a while ago, like there were like 50 paradigm shift communities across the world, right? And so if you feel called to like create community where you are, feel free to connect with our community, because within our community, we help support you in knowing and teaching you how to build community. That's what we're doing. So it's a super, super cool ripple effect. So I'm going to read the invocation here. Drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. And let me know what your affirmations are related to this message. Thank you. Camilla, one of our leading members, says, Paradigm Shift Central is the bestest. Thank you. Thank you, Camilla. Love having you a part of it. Invocation. As I'm reading this, imagine you're hearing it and you're speaking it to itself. Here we go. I have gratitude now for the heart transmission that guides me through universal love into the group consciousness that can best serve the greatest good and my own divine destiny. I ask for protection, insight, and clear knowing and clear feeling to guide me through the many groups that I will love and work with spiritually this lifetime. May all my group involvement be constructive. May love, light, and power increase in me upon the earth through all group work. Blessed by grace, may the unconditionally loving ones help all group endeavors attain spiritual success. Through mine own free will and divine love, so be it. Beautiful. So again, find those groups that resonate with you. Find those relationships that resonate with you. Listen to your heart. Go outside of your comfort zone. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself and be amongst people who share common objectives and interests and passions. Develop your cultivate your accountability, cultivate your momentum by being a part of those communities. So again, as we do this, I'm going to read some of those affirmations in the chat. And of course, I'm going to invite you guys further to be able to connect with our team. So make sure that if you're interested in connecting, click the link in my profile to be able to join into our team chat. That's our Discord server. And again, to be able to join further as a leading member, that's available for our Patreon supporters at $11 a month. And as it is right now, we're standing by to be able to see if there's going to be another Patreon supporter as we're doing this broadcast. When there is, we'll go right into our next reading. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today. But again, just plug in here. The Paradigm Shift community is really, really special. And part of what makes it special is the fact that we've been building it for 10 years. So like I have 10 years of experience facilitating community, meaning I've had 10 years of figuring out different ways in which things work less, and how to refine them. And now where we are now, we got like a really good system in place. It's a really powerful, it's a really healthy community. The people who are involved share these common visions. We're supporting each other as conscious creators. We're having the regular events. We're having the regular ceremonies. It's a really, really, really cool way. So Psyche, I'm excited for you to be able to get involved as a leading member. Make sure you just confirm for me that you want me to add you as a leading member, and leave a comment in the Discord, and then I'll add you as a leading member. And again, for those of you who may be new, go ahead and check out my Patreon. Links in the YouTube. It's up in the top corner for those of you on desktop. It's also in my profile link. Read more about joining as a leading member and see if it resonates with you, and then make that choice to join when you are ready to. And thank you again, everyone. Thank you again, Patreon supporters. So go ahead, leave those affirmations into the chat. I'm going to come up with an affirmation. So, okay. I am continuing to show up with my full heart to be able to serve the connection in space within the groups that I am a part of and the friends that are a part of those groups with me. So serving others as we serve ourselves. And oh my God, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. That's like that old, is it like an old African proverb? I love it. And again, that's what we're doing here. So thank you again, everyone, for being a part of the team. We may not have 1 million people, but the people that we do have the ability to make 1 million ripples. Absolutely, 100% true. So Beautiful, beautiful card. Number 37, the Heart Transmission. Thank you again, Psyche, for joining in on the Patreon. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Just to be able to receive the messages that we got here. So, beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone. So again, what we're going to do now, we're just going to take a little bit of an intermission. If anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that now, and we'll get right into our next reading as soon as possible. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we're doing our team reading, so we're not doing Q&A at the moment. But if you guys want to join in on YouTube, click the link in my profile, and you can also find the link there through my Patreon. If any Patreon supporters, if you guys want to increase your Patreon pledge, like in the next couple minutes, then we can do one more reading. So we'll do another reading if we have someone who increases their Patreon pledge, or if we have a new sign up. And even if you sign up at the $5 level, that's totally cool. And we'll play it by ear here. And if there's no new signups, that's totally cool. We've done 3 readings so far for this broadcast, and they were solid. Those are some good readings. And yeah, we'll wrap it up if there's no new signups, and that's totally cool. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, so much just for joining in and for being a part of the team and for holding space. And thank you again, Patreon supporters and all members of the team. So beautiful. For those of you on TikTok, make sure you guys click the link in my profile to make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube. That way, so you can be tuned in for tonight's team podcast, which again, leading members get to join on air for the team podcast. And it's our open mic jam. It's a conscious open mic jam tonight. So that's pretty cool. So for those of you who are just joining, again, the readings that we do, when you join at the beginning, we do readings like literally through anybody in the chat as a mini game. It's a collective reading. It's not just an individual reading. It's a collective reading. And then additional readings after that are available as people join on my Patreon. And again, Patreon is where you can support the work that I do with a monthly micro contribution. And again, when you sign up on there, you can join as a leading member at the $11 a month level. And again, get access to all sorts of cool things like our private community team chat, access with working with me as a conscious media creator coach, and access to join on air for our team podcast. So if you guys are looking to connect with a super dope team, with our team of shifters, with the team of Paradigm Shift Central, definitely check out the Patreon. It only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. And again, if we have a sign up in the next little bit, we'll go into another reading. Otherwise, we'll wrap up this broadcast. And we've been on air for 2 hours already, so that's totally cool either way. Awesome. So Christine, if that answers your question, you can find the Patreon link through my profile link, and you can also find it in the YouTube, and you can jump over to the YouTube. And again, for those of you who are just dropping in, if you guys are heading out, sending you guys so much love. Thank you again so much for joining in and for just being here and being a part of the community. All right. Okay, so we're just standing by here, team. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, if anybody wants to increase their Patreon pledge, go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know, and then that way we can just know to stick around for the next little bit. And otherwise, we'll just hang out here for the next couple minutes. And if there's no new signups, then we'll wrap it up. We did get, again, Melissa who signed up. So thank you again to Melissa. And again, you guys can sign up at any point for the Patreon. And contributions only processed on the 1st of each month. And thank you again, everyone, for holding space and adding your support. Again, my job literally this month is to reach 200 onto the Patreon. And again, that's because that's supporting the ongoing work that I'm doing for the community. So all the team, all the production, all the videos I make, all the team meditations that we do Monday, Friday at 10 a.m. EST, all of the back end work, all of the facilitation, all of the management, that's all possible because of the support on Patreon. So yes, this is my full-time devotion, my full-time job. And again, it's made possible by the support of you guys. So thank you again so much. And if you guys got any questions about the Patreon, you're welcome to let me know. And we'll stand by for the next little bit. And if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, again, I'd love to do one more reading. We can totally do one more reading. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. And if you guys are ready, go ahead, sign up for that Patreon. Links in the comments, links in YouTube. Only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. And yeah, Psyche, thanks so much. Psyche, let me know what your username is in the team chat, and I'll add you as a leading member. Cool team. Thank you, Brianna. Brianna says he works so hard to keep us on track. Brianna, one of our like OG paradigm shifters in the community. Thank you so much, Brianna. And Brianna, thank you for rocking it. If you guys aren't yet, make sure you're subscribed to Brianna's channel. And Brianna, reminder, go ahead and post your new videos into the YouTube channel, into the Discord server. Awesome. And yeah, guys, if you haven't already yet, go ahead and let me know in the team chat if you're available to join on air tonight for our open mic, conscious open mic. I actually gotta be able to write some new poetry. I'm gonna write some new poetry this afternoon. So, all right. So Pisces, I'm going to add you as a leading member. So I'm just gonna do that now and just post a little welcome for you in the chat. Awesome. Beautiful. All right, team. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and let me know. If we do have another sign up, we'll go into another reading. Otherwise, we'll wrap things up shortly. And you guys can sign up at any point. So, and I may be back on here. I don't know if I'll be back on here tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what my schedule opens up to be like. But yeah. And again, literally, if we have like people signing up onto the Patreon right now, we'll keep going. So, thanks again, everyone. I'm just typing into our team chat to introduce Pisces. Awesome. All right, team. Just checking in. How many people do we got? We still got 9 people tuned in on YouTube, but I think most of them are already our Patreon supporters. So again, even if a Patreon supporter, if you guys want to increase your Patreon pledge, we can do one more reading. And again, if anybody wants to sign up, you guys can do that. But again, if you guys are pretty new, I would encourage you to even just connect to our team chat and check things out and just kind of like get an idea of how we do it. So awesome. Sweet. Just got a message from somebody who was tuned in for the reading earlier. All right, team. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead, leave a comment down in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, Camilla, you can sign up. You can sign up more. Like again, like the way how we have the Patreon set up, like it's technically a sliding scale. So like for leading members, 11 is like the one side of the scale. And then if you guys want to add more, like if you guys want to sign up for more, please feel free. Like obviously it helps me. Like I got bills to pay and everything like that. So that obviously helps me. And I do my best to be able to provide you guys with value that's worth way more than $11 a month. Like even just having access to me as like a conscious media creation coach, like if I was just doing that like full price and stuff like that, you know, it'd be like $100-200 a month type thing if you guys are like working with me regularly. But I know everyone's kind of got like a different schedule and stuff like that. So having it at $11 makes it very accessible for people to get involved, and it's flexible. Maybe you're going to work with me a little bit less some months than others. But yeah, if you guys value my work, and if you guys are, you know, it's all relative. It's all relative. Like sometimes, you know, $11 to one person might be $100 to another person. Camilla, if you're in the Patreon, go to manage memberships. Like log into Patreon on desktop, and then go into the top right, go to manage memberships, and then from there you'll see the membership, and then you can literally just increase the pledge. The only thing that really changes with the increased pledges is discounts for the item shop. And then at the higher levels, like the $100 a month, then it gets into additional like one-on-one soul coaching, which is a bit different from my conscious media coaching. That's like a little bit more like in-depth stuff that, again, I only do for people who are like literally, again, at those higher tiers, just to be able to be fair, because that's like a little bit more in-depth work. So you guys are welcome to do that. Yeah, Camilla, did you want to, if you want to increase your pledge, Camilla, we can do another reading. It's totally up to you. I'll have to wrap up the broadcast by about, like, I'm good for at least one more reading. If Camilla wants to upgrade their pledge, and but then after that I have to jump off and obviously give myself a break, because then we got a whole nother podcast starting in a couple hours after this. So yes, awesome. And yeah, so again, like, yeah, if you guys want to sign up, like, seriously, if you guys are like, yo, like, I'll sign up for $50 a month, please go ahead. Like, it is all equally appreciated. And again, you like literally the leading members, it's a sliding scale between like $11 and $1,000 a month. And honestly, me doing it at $1,000, that's just literally like me like owning the value that we're providing and stuff. Because there are some people who would be like, yo, $1,000 a month to be able to have access to you as a conscious media creation coach. And again, you guys, you know, schedule things in. You can work with me and Camilla. I know we're going to schedule things in. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you're working on. You know, you guys have access to me. Like, you guys have access to me to be able to work with me with as much flexibility as possible. So, and thank you again, Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. All right, Camilla, let me know if you're going to update your pledge. We can do one more reading. Otherwise, we're going to call it a wrap. And I may want to do that anyways, just to be able to honor the fact that I have to save my voice. Okay, it looks like, oh, okay. Camilla updated. Okay, 2 seconds here. Let me just wait for the confirmation to come through. And with that said, we're gonna, there we go. Camilla, thank you so much, Camilla. Super, super appreciated. I'm good with one more reading. We can do that. And if we do have another Patreon sign up, I'll do another reading after this one if we do have another Patreon sign up, but that's I'm not expecting it. So thank you again, Camilla, so much. Camilla, let me know, what deck are we using? Camilla, are we using the Lightworker Oracle deck, or are we using the, no, Camilla, it's totally cool. I want to do another, I just have to be mindful of my own voice. It's not like I don't want to, it's just like, obviously I want to, but then at the same time, I'm just like, don't forget to rest. Like, that's the thing, so. Camilla, let me know, are we doing Lightworker Oracle deck or Ananda Tarot deck? Let me know which one you want for the team. For those of you tuned in on TikTok and oh, I'm not even on Instagram. What am I talking about? I turned off. All right, I'm gonna turn back. I'm gonna turn the Instagram back on now that we're doing another reading here. Give me 2 seconds. All right, Camilla, let me know, what deck are we using? I assume you probably are. There's a delay in the chat, so I think you're probably answering, and I'm just waiting for the feedback. Guys, go ahead. Let me know if you're still here, if you're still tuned in. Drop a 1111 in the chat just to let me know that you're still here. Thank you again, Camilla. Let's for everybody here, if you guys are still in the chat, let's give a nice thank you to Camilla for adding. Again, they're already signed up on the Patreon. They're one of our leading members, but Camilla just upgraded their leading member pledge to $22. So thank you so much, Camilla. And again, my objective is to literally reach 200 Patreon supporters by the end of the month. And again, like, that's literally, again, to be able to help support the ongoing work that I do and to be able to support myself and everything like that. You guys know how it works. Bills, human things, you know. So, but yeah, like, again, you guys, like, I just do my best to just keep providing you guys with value. And it's, you know, I was sitting here yesterday with my girlfriend, like, literally in this apartment, and we're gonna get ready to move into this reading in a second. And I just, like, I was just, like, such in this place of just, like, so much gratitude, because again, like, the fact that like here I am, I'm in this apartment. How did I get here? I got here because I put in a lot of hard work over the past 10 years to make this possible. And that was through providing value and inviting people to support on the Patreon and building the Patreon. And so thank you guys so much. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys, but at the same time, it's also like, this was always meant to happen, the support was always there. It was always about being able to provide value and find the right people who resonate with it. So thank you guys so much, because there were times when like I was doing this like, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, and the money was like very minimal. Like I would be doing live broadcasts and I would be pouring my heart into it. And this was like before I had my Patreon. And then I would be like, all right, guys, like if you enjoyed this, please feel free to donate like $1 or something like that. And then no one would donate, and it would crush my soul. Like it was like, oh, like this hurts. Like it literally hurt and it was exhausting, but it actually taught me how to be able to figure out how to make things work. Because obviously what I was doing, the model wasn't functioning. And now over time, I've refined a model, and now I can actually teach other people how to be able to build their own Patreon. So again, for those of you who are leading members, I want you guys to be able to be supported in sharing your art with the world, and to be able to do that as a full-time devotion. And that's why I'm like super passionate about being able to provide this value for the community, because the world needs more conscious creators. So if you're thinking about like being able to be like, yo, like that's really cool what he's doing, he's like doing this as a full-time job, I want you to be able to do that too. So join as a leading member, invest in yourself, and let's talk about how to be able to help you create your own Patreon or whatever else you got going on. All right, Camilla, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Let's just give a nice big round of applause to everyone. Like literally everyone, just thank everyone. Like I love you guys so much. Like seriously, like it just, like I said, when I was just sitting here, I'm like, wow, like this is really cool. This is really cool. And again, not a day has gone by where I haven't just continued to show up and provide you guys with the best that I can. And I know you guys see that, and I really, really appreciate you guys echoing the value of that, because now things get really exciting, because as you know, more people are connecting to us, more people are getting inspired, and more people are, you know, continuing to evolve into their best self. We're accelerating the shift. All right, I'm just going to start the broadcast here on TikTok. Okay. All right, welcome back to those of you on TikTok and Instagram. We're just about ready to get into our next live tarot reading, so cheers. All right, thank you again, Camilla. Camilla upgraded their Patreon pledge to $22. Again, we're going to get right into this next reading. If you guys are new, we'll do another reading after this if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon. However, otherwise, this will be the last reading for today. If somebody else wants to upgrade their Patreon, you guys are always welcome to, whatever works for you. Siloman, just letting you know, I'll be sending out your package tomorrow. Things have just been a little busy, but Siloman actually ordered a Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal. And it's for like them and Shannon, I imagine. Silomon's gonna get one of these bad boys, one of the Lemurian Light Guardian crystals. So reminder, when you guys sign up for the Patreon, you also get discounts for the item shop. If you guys haven't bought items from the item shop in a while, when you do, I'll always like put in like extra items. Like I'll put in like lots of buttons for you and stuff like that. Like when you're a leading member and stuff. Even if you're not a leading member, I always put in extra stuff anyways. So leading members, you guys get discounts for your item shop. So if you haven't ordered any items yet, go ahead, check it out. All right, let's get ready to go into this next reading. You guys are awesome. Honestly, it blows my mind that you guys are hanging out with me this afternoon. Like, I know everyone's got important things to do, and the fact that you're just here hanging out with the team really, really means a lot. All right, let's do this. And Brianna, Brianna shared their new video into the team Discord chat. Guys, go check out Brianna's new video. It's really cool. Brianna's doing some awesome stuff. All right. Okay, here we go. Going to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. Thank you again, everyone, for doing this. We'll keep an eye on to the Patreon if there are any new signups. No sweat either way. Let's just focus on this reading. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's the primary chat. I'd prefer you join there. That way so you can connect with the team, find the link to our Patreon, and you can connect to our Discord server. Okay, here we go. Camilla, you're ready. Let's get ready to move into this next reading. All right. For everybody here, go ahead and join us in this meditation. If you are here, this reading is for you. So, Camilla, everybody here. When you're ready, gently close your eyes. As you listen to my voice, straighten your posture, connecting with your breath, open your chest, relax your face. Breathing here, bring yourself into this space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the space, gratitude for the team. Gratitude for the messages we are about to receive. With this gratitude in your heart for everybody here just meditating with us, focus your collective intention on towards the idea of show us what we need to see. Very simple, very powerful. Show us what we need to see. We being the collective, the individual, and the team. Continuing to focus on this intention. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. For everybody here, focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see. Camilla, continue to breathe here. Take a few more breaths. Listen to your intuition. And when you're ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, gently open your eyes and type your wizard noises into the chat. And we'll charge up the deck a little bit more. Here we go. And oh, my friends, here we are once again as we continue to go on this journey that never truly ends, sitting in this posture, meditating with our hearts, reminding each other of where it truly starts, because it starts inside. It starts with awakening within the dream as we continue to do things that have never been seen, as we create with the magic of our gifts to be able to change the world with this bliss, as Camilla types now into the chat. We shall see what messages the cards do have. The ripple effect on the wizard noises. All right. Ooh, this is cool. This is another new card. This is like this card's new to me, man. This is exciting. My dopamine's like going off right now. The card that we've pulled with Camilla helping facilitate, and for everybody here, this message is for you, is card number 28, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Card number 28, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Showing it to the TikTok, to the Instagram. A reminder for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. That's because like the primary camera's there, so it's hard for me to show the camera to both. Plus the audio is better. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Hey Morgan, thanks for joining in. All right, okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna open up the book and I'm gonna read from the book, and then I'll channel some more inspiration. Thank you guys again for like honoring the energy that goes into this. It takes, like, seriously, this is like hard work. I know I'm having fun, but it is still literally hard work just to be able to like do readings, and because I'm not just doing readings, like I'm like entertaining you guys, right? Or at least I'm trying to. Oh God. All right, okay, here we go. I'm gonna explain what the card is just visually, and then we'll read more, and then we'll drop into a little bit more channeled information. Again, as we're doing this, we'll keep an eye open for another Patreon sign up. I'd love to get one more Patreon sign up, and then we'll do one more reading after this. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today's broadcast, but then we got our team podcast tonight at 8 p.m. EST, our open mic. So join in for that. All right, okay, here we go. Card number 28, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. I like how I'm just amused by Master Hilarion. Like, I'm just like, I want to know who this guy is, because obviously I feel like it's probably nothing to do with being hilarious, but I'm interested to sorry, just like Master Hilarion, the archangel of like dad jokes or something like that. Is that what this is? Let's find out. Looking at this image visually, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you can't see the card, it's because I'm showing it to the YouTube. Click the link in my profile to tune in. All right. We have this beautiful image here of this male figure standing between these two gates. Maybe that's Master Hilarion, maybe that's Archangel Raphael. And this gate has like kind of like flowers kind of going up to it. It's kind of opening up almost like into a garden path. You can see this beautiful like tree line behind it. They got this golden light kind of shining behind them. They even got the stereotypical like angel wings kind of coming off them. And yeah, you got all sorts of flowers there. You got some like lilacs, maybe some like lilies, some roses, and beautiful, almost like cherry blossoms in the tree. Beautiful, beautiful imagery. And I love these like purples and greens. And again, kind of like a step case leading towards the card. All right, so I'm gonna dive into this. I'm gonna read from the book. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you who made the jump over to YouTube from TikTok, congratulations. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the party. Again, as we're doing this, This isn't just about the readings. This is about us building as a team. This is about us receiving messages to support each other as conscious creators and leaders. So people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So if you are here, this message is for you. Let's dive into this. Let's keep an eye open. If we get one more Patreon sign up after this, we'll do another reading. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today. Thank you again, everyone, so much. And go ahead, plug that Patreon for those of you who are regulars. You guys can like help invite people to it. You guys are awesome. I love you. Okay. Gonna use my wizard voice. Here we go. Number 28. Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Part of your divine purpose is to develop the power of your mind and use it for healing purposes. If you change your mind, you can change your world. Okay, I'm just going to reread that. If you change your mind, you can change your world. Guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the lives of others. Healing and opening the mind to new realities and possibilities are the gifts of Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. The mind of a Lightworker needs spiritual light, information, understanding, and wisdom, in the same way that the human body needs food, water, and clean air. I'm gonna reread that again. That's huge. Anything I say, if it resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. Again, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. The mind of a Lightworker needs spiritual light, information, and understanding and wisdom in the same way that human bodies need food, water, and clean air. The hunger for wisdom can push you to seek knowledge, and this can be a healthy impulse. However, if you love knowledge so much that you keep seeking without taking time to digest, integrate, and apply what you have learned, you may end up confused or mentally exhausted. Jeez, this is right. Message for the group right here. My goodness, everyone. If you are forgetful, stressed, mentally fatigued, or plotting when you are usually bright, you need some mental time out. The mind rarely rests except through meditation, and even then, rest is not guaranteed. Resting the mind can be a tricky thing for intellectually oriented or highly creative people. Learning to switch off mentally will help you remember and apply what you are learning so that you can grow not only knowledge, but also in wisdom. You have been absorbing a lot of new information. You may feel you have many tasks to do that you do not know where to start, or that if you stop to rest, you will never get through it all. This is causing mental stress, which is diminishing your productivity. It is time to slow down and cleanse your mind with the assistance of Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Sit without the distraction of telephone, computer, mobile phone, music, television, or radio. Take a few moments of silence. Say the invocation below and imagine, intend, and visualize or feel a fresh pale green energy wash through you. Focus on this for a second or two. Then just relax and enjoy mental cleansing. You will recognize when you have had sufficient mental rest because you shall feel a peaceful sense of vibrancy and inspiration. Sounds like our morning team meditations. When you let go in this way, switching off and taking a step back, new approaches and ideas come to your mind. So work according to your own creative rhythms. You may find you work best in short, productive bursts punctuated by mental rest. If this is how you need to live for a time, honor that. Be kind to your mind. It can help you accomplish your divine journey. This oracle also comes with a message for you. If you are integrated in healing that involves the mind, whether this be psychology, psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, hypnosis, NLP, philosophy, or a course of study, you are encouraged to explore it. If you feel inspired to work with your belief system through affirmations or other techniques for mental programming, such as guided relaxations and meditations, you are encouraged to do this. Your mind is developed and powerful, and you will work well with such techniques. Okay, all right. Super dope card. Let's get ready to dive into it further. Excuse me. All right, team. Again, going to dive in further, going to channel some more messages here. As you're listening to this, just allow yourself to be open. We'll keep an eye open. If there's another Patreon sign up, we'll do another reading after this. Otherwise, this is going to be the last reading for this broadcast. You guys are awesome. I love you. Let's dive into this. So, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. This card really emphasizes the importance of being able to develop a better relationship with our mind, to be able to listen to the needs of our mind, and to be able to listen to the needs of our body, to be able to support the needs of our mind. Your job is to take care of yourself. I've said this before. We literally talked about this at the beginning of the broadcast. The first card that we got at the beginning of the broadcast was all about balance. It was literally the balance card. And so with this card, it's really reminding us that your job, your work is being able to integrate rest. And so if that's something that you're still struggling with, let this card just be a little bit of a reminder to know that there are ways to be able to do this that are going to kind of fit into your routine. And sometimes you're going to need to be able to like remove things in order to be able to make room for the rest. Sometimes you will need to literally use your willpower, to use your temperance to be able to say, you know what within my life is actually getting in the way of me resting. And for a lot of us, it's literally in your hand right now. It's your phone, it's your computer, it's the distraction, it's the constant stimulation. You need to be able to consciously become aware of whether or not those are serving you or just satisfying you. And even still, is it really satisfying you, or are you just kind of distracting yourself? As creators, as conscious creators, it is incredibly important that we do what we can to make sure that our mind is like well oiled, is attuned, is sharpened, because that's going to help us show up within our work. That's going to help us show up within our service. So this is a very powerful card that just reminds us that simple practices such as meditation, especially first thing in the morning, holographically affect the rest of our day. And so if you're already into this practice of integrating these processes of rest, keep doing it. If you're not doing it yet, there are ways for you to do it. And even something as simple as literally, using like the Pomodoro method while doing work. The Pomodoro method is this process of setting a timer for like 25 minutes, and you work for 25 minutes. And then at the 25-minute mark, you take a 5-minute break. And then during that 5-minute break, you literally step away from your computer. Maybe you go look outside the window. Maybe you just kind of sit down, close your eyes, meditate, recalibrate, and then you return to your work. This cycle, this pattern is what we need to do. I said this way back. Like I think I said this literally in 2019, how 2020 should be the year of no burnouts. Now, in retrospect, this is before things got like extra stressful and everything like that. But in retrospect, if you look at the fact that things have been extra stressful, things have also been extra incredibly obvious that we need to focus on getting good at learning how to mitigate stress by making sure that we're integrating proper cycles of rest into our routine, into our work. So that's where, before you jump in to get all of your tasks done for today, what would it be like if you took 5 minutes to just kind of rest, empty out your cup, attune your mind, fill your cup with consciousness, fill your cup with love, tune your instrument, sharpen your sword, and then you show up. And then what happens if you do that twice a day? And then what happens if you do that 3 times a day? And then what happens if you literally just create an awareness where once every hour you're taking 3 mindful breaths? Your mind is like a computer. Your mind is like a biological circuit system. And if you're constantly running, like that's what a lot of us do, don't be surprised when your mind eventually just kind of like short circuits. It frizzles, it fires, and then you won't just need rest, you will burn out. You will crash. And so that's what happens, where the body, almost as a self-defense mechanism, if it is not getting the rest that it usually needs, it will respond to this by literally forcing you to rest, by you experiencing burnout. Or some other circumstance will appear within your reality that may be like an external thing that will force you to stop. Like suddenly you'll like sprain your ankle or something like that. And you're like, crap, Now I have to slow down. But you don't want that. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to have to sprain your ankle. You don't want the universe to basically like force you to slow down. What you want to do is you want to get into that habit where rest is a part of the work. Rest is a part of the cycle. Rest is a process of being able to tap into that creative inspiration. One of the things that even my grandfather used to tell me about and used to teach me, he was an incredibly intelligent man. Like I get a lot of inspiration from my grandfather, even though I know you guys don't know my grandfather. Just imagine this like old British man who was very kind and was a doctor. And that was my grandfather. And was also like a philosopher and totally into all the things that we talk about. Like I'm literally just kind of like a fractal of him. And I hope that just kind of helps you understand. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool, right? And he was British too, right? So I'm half British. That's why when I wear my hat, I'm like my British hat. But anyways, one thing he would do is if he was working on things and he would eventually reach a point where maybe, you know, the mind just has trouble seeing the full picture or it reaches an obstacle, instead of just trying to push through it, he would actually step away from the work. He would step away from the work. Maybe he would like go make a grilled cheese, or he would go take a nap. And then in the process of doing that, whatever it was that he needed would come to him. It would like be this process of him just kind of sitting back and just kind of relaxing and just being open, and then it would literally come to him. It would come up like as a even like a inspiration within his dream, or the clarity would arise as he comes out of his nap, and he's like, okay, there, now I can do this, right? So again, you know, treat yourself almost as if you're another person. Treat yourself as if you're beloved. And notice when you're going and going and going to the best of your abilities, be like, yo, like you need to rest. You need to slow down. You need to take a break, because we don't want you to crash. We need you to go through this constant cycle of kind of like work, 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 rest, 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 work, 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 rest, 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 work, 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 rest, rest. That should be your cycle. It should look like a sine wave, opposed to just being like work, 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 and burnout. And then that's it, right? Like, and then, you know, you need to play the long game. You need to be able to look ahead. You need to be able to honor your future self by making sure that you're getting good at resting, by making sure that you're implementing meditation. And that's the thing with meditation practice. For a lot of people, you know, you may be at this point where it's just like, maybe I'm brand new to meditation. Hey, Kelly, thanks for joining in. Maybe I'm brand new to meditation. Meditation is something that when you're learning it, it will become easier and your skills will develop as you do it. And so before, you know, if you're doing a guided meditation, you may find and be like, oh, okay, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, my mind's like at like an 8 or a 9, and it's really busy right now. It's really challenging. 1 being easy, 10 being kind of really noisy. If you start doing it more, you'll find that you'll be able to access these spaces literally like fast. Like, not that it's a rush, but literally, like, you know, just literally like sitting here, like for all of us here, you know, I know I'm talking right now, and then literally just right now, slow down, close your eyes, straighten your shoulders, straighten up your back, straighten your open your shoulders, relax your face. Micro meditation. Everybody here, just take 4 deep breaths and just relax literally in this moment as much as you can together. Deep inhale. Nice soft exhale. Inhale. Nice soft exhale. Just focus on the breath. Inhale. Nice soft exhale. One more. Inhale. Nice soft exhale. Feel what this feeling looks like. Remember this feeling. Save it. Save it within your heart. Let it become familiar. And you can return back to it literally within like a breath. And gently open your eyes and turn your awareness to the space around you. Again, right? So like something as simple as that. The power of being able to drop into that meditative place is opening up to more potential within your reality, is opening up your receptivity, is opening up to messages from spirit, is opening up to inspiration from source, to be able to give you the clarity of something that can be passed on, to be able to give you the clarity on what your next steps will be, to be able to give you the clarity on how it is that you're actually feeling. This is a truth that for some people it's kind of hard to admit, but sometimes people don't fully know what they're feeling because they are constantly distracting themselves from their feelings with things that they fascinate themselves with their phones, with their Netflix, with their movies, with other people who may not be fully supportive of their journey, right? How many of us have done that where it's like literally like just like, yeah, well, you know what? I know there's some feelings that I need to pay attention to, and I know there's some lessons there, but I'd rather not. And I'm just going to keep staying on my phone, and I'm going to stay up till 3 a.m. and I'm just going to fall asleep with my phone in my hand, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to do my best to try it again. And each day it just becomes a drudge, and it doesn't have to be that way. It really, really, really doesn't have to be that way. And again, sometimes with balance, sometimes it will be that way in order for us to learn that it doesn't have to be that way. In order for us to be able to get to the point where we can ask ourselves, doesn't need to be this way. And it doesn't. You can get into that point where you're nurturing yourself, you're taking care of yourself. And again, you're focusing on the balance, your diet, your exercise, your sleep, your water, your sunlight, your social interaction, those things. When you're taking care of those things, the rest naturally becomes incorporated into that, and then that rest amplifies the work that you still have to do. So let us be inspired by this message to be able to integrate the importance of rest into our journey, to be able to practice kind of quieting the mind, removing ourselves from the distraction, from the fascination. Go connect with nature. Tune in for meditations. Tune in for our team meditations. We do Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. EST. Again, links through our team chat. And make a habit of being able to get good at resting and develop that emotional connection with it, where you actually fall in love with it because you notice the difference it makes. You're just like, whoa, taking 5 minutes to do this actually made the rest of my day feel way better. And you do that, and in that space, you connect with your heart, you connect with your spirit, you connect with your gifts, you connect with your magic, and then you can bring that out into the world. That's what you are here to do. So yeah, rest is a part of the work. Rest, balance, that's going to help you show up in the best ways possible for yourself and for others. I'm going to read the invocation here. Drop those 1111s in the chat if this resonates, and let us know. Write an affirmation out based on the message of this that confirms for you that you got the message here. And that when you write out an affirmation, it's like telling your body, oh, I was listening, I got the message. And then you can keep embodying it. So, and again, I not only, I'm inviting you, I'm challenging you, I'm literally telling you as a coach, as a captain, to make it a priority to integrate important rest into your daily practices. And this can literally just be like meditating a couple times a day, even for a couple minutes. Or this could be changing the way you go to sleep at night. Or this could be changing the way you wake up in the morning. Little things like that. And again, if you guys are brand new, tune in for our team meditations. They're there to support you. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. EST. Invocation. As I read this is what it was saying. It was actually saying like you could like reflect on this meditation, this invocation while doing meditation. So imagine yourself saying this to yourself. Invocation. I call upon the healing grace of Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael, who love me unconditionally. May my mind now gain rest, clearing, and refreshment. May I be assisted through unconditional love for mental healing and the development of my mind in service to my spiritual life purpose. Please help me let go mentally to allow for positive healing changes to happen. I ask for the grace I need to access all helpful knowledge, understanding, and wisdom necessary for me to fulfill my divine purpose. May my mind become peaceful, clear, and refreshed. May all beings be free from mental anguish through the grace and unconditional love of the divine. Through mine own free will, so be it. Beautiful. Thank you, Master Hilarious and Archangel Raphael, the turtle. That's what I'm... Where's Archangel Donatello? I want to Archangel. There is an Archangel. Is there an Archangel Michael? Archangel Michelangelo? Is there an Archangel Leonardo? Maybe not. I don't know. I know they're based off the painters, but still, I just find it funny. I just like imagining our archangels as like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why not? Anyways, thank you so much, Camilla, for upgrading your Patreon pledge, for bringing this knowledge through. Let this be a valuable reminder for all who are here to receive it. Thank you, everyone, for being open. Again, just affirming you that you're in the right place, you're on the right path, but there is always room for refinement, and that is a part of your journey to cultivate conscious, to make the unconscious conscious, and to use your willpower, your free will, to make those choices yourself. To make those choices, to be able to say, yes, I am committing to myself by integrating more rest, by slowing down, by removing the things that are distracting me from my own rest, and then showing up to be able to do the rest of the work and to be able to share your divine gifts. That is what you're here to do. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome. Yeah, Diana saying, I will do paperwork for 25 minutes and rest for 5. I will grow within. Oh, sorry, this is a. I was just reading it. I didn't realize there was an affirmation. Diana, I will do paperwork for 25 minutes, then rest for 5. I will grow within such regulations and with love and grace. Thank you, 1111. Beautiful. Thank you, Diana. For those of you who are looking, download the Pomodoro app or look up Tomato Timer. Again, this is like a super powerful way to be able to just like use a little bit of a tool to be able to help assist you. So look up, there's a bunch of them. Download Pomodoro app. I typed it into the chat. Download Pomodoro app or look up Tomato Timer. Download that, and then when you're doing work, what it is, it's literally a timer that goes off any 25 minutes, or you can adjust it, and it just indicates you, and then you get up, you walk away, rest for 5 minutes, and then you go back. This is such a powerful way to be able to do things. And what you can actually do, this is like life coaching stuff we're getting into. You can actually create a task and you assign how many Pomodoros it's going to take. So say you've got like you've got a thing that you're writing. You can be like, okay, this is a short thing. It's going to take 1 Pomodoro. And then you commit to that and you get it done. And then maybe if there's like a video you got to make, be like, okay, this is going to take 2 Pomodoros. And then you commit to that and you get it done. And you start compartmentalizing your tasks into small little chunks. And you start moving through it with this routine, and you start gaining this like perpetual momentum. Super, super powerful. So, all right, my voice is going to need a rest. So thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. This was an awesome team podcast. It's not a podcast, Brendan. Shut up. Sorry. I always call it a podcast. It's clearly not a podcast. For another team broadcast, for our inspirational team tarot readings that we are doing here. And again, we're gonna just take another moment here. If anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, or if any Patreon supporters want to increase your Patreon pledge, go ahead and do that now. Oh, excuse me, as I'm ready to rest. But otherwise, we'll just take a moment here to wrap up the broadcast, and then I'm gonna go take a rest by going out and exercising and slacklining and not talking, and getting myself ready for tonight's conscious open mic jam, which is going to be super dope. And again, leading members, for those of you who are supporting on Patreon as a leading member at the $11 level, join in tonight. Join in for some open mic. We've done a few of these open mics. They're really fun. So I got a lot of poetry I'll share, but I'm going to write some new poetry. I'm going to do that this afternoon between now and the podcast. So again, that's at 8 p.m. EST. And any other affirmations, Silomon says, I am committed to allowing myself more balance and rest. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome. Pisces, I am committing to showing up for myself so I may show up for others. Beautiful, awesome, well done, well said, everyone. Camilla, if there's an affirmation you want to share, go ahead. And Camilla, thank you again for helping facilitate and helping us get that card out. So beautiful, wonderful, awesome. Psyche, just seeing your comment in the team chat. Psyche says, who just signed up for the Patreon today as a leading member. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be dropping an introduction on and TikToks. I'm super stoked to be a part of this group. Feel free to use she, her pronouns. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Pisces, as well. And thank you, Brianna, for dropping in your new video in there as well. So beautiful. Awesome. All right, team. If there's any other Patreon signups that we feel, if anybody's ready to either upgrade their Patreon or sign up real quick, let me know. Like, drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, the Patreon link is through my profile, as well as the YouTube where you can tune in. And you guys can sign up at any point. And again, when you sign up at $11 a month, then you can join into our community as a leading member, which gives you access to the full team chat and access to our private community collaborative work periods, access to me as a conscious media creation coach, access for discounts on the item shop, and also the ability to join our weekly team podcasts that we do. So beautiful. All right, team. Well, I'm pretty much ready to wrap it up. If anybody does have any plans to sign up for the Patreon, again, just let me know. Drop a 555 in the chat. Contributions only process on the 1st of each month. So literally, if you sign up today, it doesn't process till September 1st. And we're working on reaching that goal of 200 Patreon supporters by the end of the month. So I'm going to be very busy this month inviting people to the Patreon and helping build things up. And thank you guys again for holding space. And thank you, Camilla. Thank you, Psyche, for increasing your pledge and adding your pledge. Camilla says, I am committed to unplug from technology at least 5 daily hours and rest every 5 minutes. Awesome. Good for you, Camilla. Beautiful. Whew. Yeah, we need it, man. Like, those of us, like, it happens with me sometimes. Like, there are days where I'm just like work. But it's always important for me to, like, even that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to jump off now. I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to go play some basketball. I'm going to do some slacklining. And that's like me just taking rest. You know, because like we need it. The rest is a part of the work. So don't work smarter, not just harder. Don't fall into that illusion that you need to just like grind all day long. You need to be smart because we need you here for the long run. So cool. All right, team. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We're going to wrap up this broadcast. If there's anybody else who's thinking of signing up for the Patreon in the future, drop a 555 in the chat. Let us know. And again, please feel free to join our team chat for those of you on TikTok. If you click the link in my profile, you'll find my YouTube and you'll find my Patreon where you can become a leading member, and you can find our team chat, which is our Discord server. So if you guys are just curious, feel free to connect there and get involved. And yeah, tune in later tonight for our conscious, inspirational open mic jam, which will be really fun. Gonna be sharing some like conscious poetry and music and singing and all sorts of stuff. So beautiful. Camilla, I'm glad that was helpful. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, team. That was a blast. Always a pleasure. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more of these. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Join our team chat. Join on Patreon when you can. And yeah, have an amazing day. Embody this. And you guys are so loved, so appreciated, and so magical. As always, keep it shifty. I will see you guys in the future. Have an awesome day. And for those of you who are around later or watching in the future, I will see you guys for a Conscious Open Mic Jam at 8 p.m. EST. Much love, peace, and wholeness. All right, talk to you guys later. See you in the team chat.